most prominent critics of the president of Belarus have been sentenced to 12 years in prison.
It was a successful campaign. The Olympic swimming medalist Alexandra Herasimenya and her colleague Alexander Opeikin were founders of the Belarusian Sports Solidarity Foundation. Their call for a boycott contributed to several sporting events in Belarus being cancelled, infuriating the country's autocratic president Alexander Lukashenko, who regards himself as an enthusiastic sports fan. The 12-year prison sentences were handed down in absentia, prompting Ms. Herasimenya to say they could execute her in absentia too.
That's BBC's Paul Moss. The UN's human rights chief decries increasing restrictions on women's rights in Afghanistan, urging the country's Taliban rulers to reverse those restrictions immediately. News and analysis at townhall.com. Temperatures are rising in another of the world's hot spots as Serbia places its troops along the border with Kosovo in a state of alert.
Serbia's move ignores NATO's calls for calming tensions between the two wartime Balkan foes. Serbia's interior minister says he has, quote, ordered the full combat readiness of police and other security units and that they be placed under army command. It wasn't clear what the order meant on the ground. Serbia doesn't recognize Kosovo's 2008 declaration of independence, and fears of violence have soared since the start of Russia's war in Ukraine.
Correspondent Jeremy House. South Korea's president calling for stronger air defenses and high-tech stealth drones, while the military's apologized for failing to shoot down North Korean drones that crossed the border for the first time in 5 years. It's raising serious questions about South Korea's air defense network. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy post-Christmas week, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it.
I'm so happy it's over.
Happy Tuesday. Sort of a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. I mean, a lot of people are still off work and enjoying time down.
Kids not in school. There's a lot of people who are still aren't, going in and doing the work thing. Yeah. And this is traditionally the 1 week that nothing happens.
Although it's busy. Like Poke-Horn tournament and all. So there's lots of stuff going on. It's just less people working.
Yeah.
People take the week off. Some dealing with the woes of travel still.
Mm-hmm.
To all of you, I share your empathy and wish you nothing but success today. I hope it works for those that have family that are traveling, or if you yourself are stuck somewhere and you're sitting on a phone, happen to be listening to us in an airport right now. Hoping that you catch a plane today.
Yeah.
Hopefully it happens to you. I've been there, done that. A couple Christmases ago, I got stuck in that very scenario. And fortunately, my nightmare wasn't like other people's nightmare. I was only a day, and they paid for my room. And I'm hearing nightmares of people shelling extra hundreds of dollars for rooms and still not guaranteed the next day getting out of town. And it's Welcome to the holiday season.
You canceled my flight, and all you gave me was this voucher for a free sandwich at the Wolfgang Puck restaurant, and they won't even take it. Dang it! That's half the reason I don't fly. I put my fate in my own hands.
It only gets you like the low end Wolfgang Puck sandwiches. It doesn't give you like.
You're not getting cordon bleu or anything.
Yeah. The Wolfgang PB&J. Well, it's like $10 peanut butter, so it's good peanut butter. But anyway, Merry post-Christmas, everybody.
And close to Happy New Year too.
Yeah, we hopefully everyone's. Don't forget, we will have coverage today of the Poe Corn Tournament. Go to ksvptv.com and the Goddard Lady Rocket Holiday Invitational.
Yep.
ksvptv.com. We will have every single game from both tournaments available for you to watch. Just so you know, we will only have announcers for the local games, right. Roswell, Goddard.
You'll still be able to see every game.
Yes,
but you won't be able to hear every game.
You can commentate to your own self.
Sure.
You use your own commentate, or turn down and our guys and listen to you. Watch and make.
I would say the joy of watching the games without the commentary is listening to the crowd, because you really hear some stuff when you listen to the crowd. One particularly proud dad shouting out, "Knock her down! Kick her while she's down! She's weak!"
Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's right.
Well, how was your Christmas?
All in all, it was good. Managed to get everything pretty much all the stuff that the kids wanted, and they were thoroughly happy.
Nice.
Christmas Eve evening, I spent over at actually both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I spent over at Misty's with the fam and stuff. And
nice.
Yeah, we had it was good. We had karaoke on Saturday night.
I saw just a quick snippet online of some karaoke.
Yeah. That's the thing. When my friends group gets together, we okie. That's just what we do.
Oh, God bless you.
That's right. Keeping the okie alive. But no, it was good. It was good. Kids had a good Christmas, and
awesome.
Everything went off without a hitch. How was yours?
Good, nice. So we had a great time. I'll talk more about it over the course of the hour here. We're gonna chit chat this hour.
Nice.
So and then we'll replay a couple interviews, hours 2 and 3. But we'll chit chat this hour. I'll get into all the. But yeah, had a great great holiday. Everyone had a great time, and nobody died, no mishaps, no major incidents of ill. Everything was good. Nice. Everything was hunky dory. I got some TV to watch that I haven't I watched. I didn't watch a lot of TV actually. Not like recorded stuff. I watched a lot of football over the Saturday and Sunday, as one does,
right?
Because that's what's on, and. But yeah, I watched the new 1923 last night. That was pretty good, but I don't get to talk about. But yeah, it was really good Christmas. I'll talk more. We went up to Albuquerque and saw a lot of family and had a lot of food, a lot of hanging out and talk. I'll talk. I got a couple of nice little gifts and everything, and did well. It was a great Christmas, and just good to see family, and everyone got along well, and I ate lots of food.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a food coma still from 3 days of we had prime rib steaks for dinner Christmas night, which we went over. So yeah, we did a lot of we stayed up in Albuquerque with Kim's parents. That's where we spent the Christmas weekend, and so Christmas Saturday, Kim's sister had a party, Christmas / taco party thing. So we just had a holiday party and a bunch of her friends and relatives, and so we had a little party and hung out and ate, drank, and was merry. Sure. Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning we got up early, went back over to her sister's house to watch the kids and everybody open presents and all that, and then Saturday night or Sunday night, Christmas night, we had dinner over at my brother-in-law's family. So it would be my sister-in-law's husband's family.
Okay.
And we had that's where we had a nice prime rib dinner, nice. And with their family, the Touches and us there together. We had a great
the Touches?
That's their last name, the Touches.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it would come up a lot. Oh, Touche.
Well, Well, it's spelled Tixier, so most people don't pronounce it right, and they just call
That's Tixer.
it. Yeah, it's
Your name is Tixer. Your name is not Touche. Your name is Tixer.
Well, it's pronounced Touche.
Well, no, in your mind, it's pronounced Touche.
I'm guessing it's French, but
Yeah, probably.
don't quote me on that. but anyway, they lovely host, had a great time. They were awesome, and this is the one that my brother-in-law, who used to be the public affairs officer for the Albuquerque Police Department. He now works for Santa Fe Police, but at a time he was and so he was the guy you'd see on the news.
Oh yeah,
every night when there was a crime scene and the APD was on it, and then they'd show a bald guy. This is about half dozen years ago. If there was a bald guy that was on there telling you that was my brother-in-law.
I know him.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore, and they've got someone else doing it. But this is I'd say about 6-7 years ago. He was the I think it's PIO is the official public information officer. I think for the APD. But anyway, he now works for Santa Fe Police, and he doesn't do that. But anyway, so we had a great time there. But I'll talk all about dinner and all that good stuff here this hour.
Sweet.
Oh, by the way, I do. If this week, if you're looking to give and to help and looking for a New Year's to make resolutions to be more involved, I know the Roswell Refuge before the holidays definitely were in need of like towels and silverware and toiletries like shampoo, conditioner, but they want the family size bottles if you do that. Bottled water. Small dresser, even some furniture like small dressers or mini fridge. If you got some of that stuff, if you have some of that you'd like to donate or help out, or you'd like to go out and buy some towels and things, or perhaps maybe you got some new stuff over the Christmas holiday, and it's the stuff you have is perfectly great and serviceable and would make good for someone else, then donate it to the Roswell Refuge. Call the main office number, not the crisis hotline. Call the main admin office number, 575-624-3222. Again, that's 575-624-3222. And see if you can make a donation. Help out there. They would greatly appreciate that. Now, if you are in the need of their crisis hotline, call it 24/7, 575-627-8361. Again, that's 575-627-8361. That's the crisis line. Call the admin number, 3222, for the if you want to donate or have any questions that aren't crisis related.
But if you're in crisis, the number's always there.
Exactly. So
the biggest hassle this weekend was I'm realizing, and I love my car. I love my car so much. It's one of my favorite things I've ever owned.
Get you to places. It's nice.
It's great. It's too small.
It is a tiny vehicle.
I love the fact that it's small, but I'm getting to the point where it's just too small. I had to enlist so much help just to get my daughter's Christmas present to her mom's house where they were opening Christmas presents. Because her big present was I got her a bike this year.
Nice.
I upgraded and got her a bigger bike because she was riding around on a bike that was too small, learning how to ride, training.
Children tend to grow and they outgrow things.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
This one, it's perfect size. There's no training wheels on it, so she's gonna, I'm gonna get her elbow and knee pads.
So it's a full-on adult little kid bike. Nice.
And she's gonna learn the hard way. But getting it over to her mom's house was a hassle. I was up at like 5:30 on Christmas morning trying to enlist help of people with bigger vehicles to get that bike over to her house.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Should.
We tried doing it the night before, but plans
my
fell
Jeep
through.
was just sitting in the driveway or sitting in my garage. If somebody would have known, I was like, "Hey, go grab my Jeep."
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I could have committed grand theft auto, but I decided not to.
Well, if you shoot me a text and say, I've been like, yeah, go to my house, grab the keys, and do your thing.
Honestly, that never even crossed my mind. Darn it.
Yeah, I think you could cram a Jeep in the.
Because I have like 16 favors now, just to get a bike over to a house.
Next time, think of it. But I think you could cram a bike back there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I've never tried, but because God forbid that requires physical activity, and we don't do that.
They don't happen around here.
Yeah, we don't do that kind of nonsense around here. But well, good. Well, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
So were the kids very happy?
Oh, they were very thrilled.
And, how did Hunter do? What was Hunter's big gift?
Hunter's big gift, I got him a I looked all over the internet for this, but I found a oversized Jenga set.
Oh, giant Jenga. Yeah.
Giant Jenga. And we broke it out Christmas night at
How big are your giant Jenga blocks?
It's in a bag that's about yay big, about like that.
Okay.
The blocks themselves are about like this.
Okay, so I so happened to play giant Jenga on Christmas Eve at the Christmas party.
Nice.
They had giant Jenga there, and that's about the size.
About like that. It's not they're like humongous.
Yeah, it's not like it's about 3 foot tall, maybe.
It's big enough that you could play it on a tabletop where you wouldn't feel like awkward.
It's tall enough where we had it on a ping pong table, but the ceiling fan light we had to stop because we got too tall.
I feel like that's just like a little brag.
Well,
we weren't that good.
Well, it's about that tall. I mean, they have low ceilings. No, I'm just kidding. But it was at that point. Well, it was the three of us playing. It was my wife and I and my father-in-law. We were playing. No, it was four of us. There's a fourth in there too. But anyway,
Hunter's Present is one of those. It's like it's for Hunter, but let's face it, it's for the family. Because I was really excited to get giant Jenga.
Yeah,
that's definitely one of those.
Well, when y'all are playing giant Jenga, that will be a fort, or that will be a wall for Matchbox or whatever toy.
I tend to not get my children presents that are a great many number of things because that great many number of things will end up at different corners of my household within 2 months.
Sure.
I'm really hoping we can keep giant Jenga in the giant Jenga bag. Yeah. That's my goal.
It's like because my brother has kids that are give or take roughly around your age. You know, they're slightly, but in that ballpark.
Sure.
And they have a basement that when you go down to their house, and one side of that basement's like their play area, I guess you'd call it.
The game room.
Oh my goodness, you can't. It's like it take the stray Lego on the floor. That's nothing. This thing is like a landmine littered with Lord knows what, little tiny guns to Legos to perhaps a T-Rex foot.
Sure.
I don't know what that is.
Crusts of bread from dinners gone by.
It's not
I understand.
food, but it's like, oh look, here's a Nerf, dude. There's a Nerf arrow.
You got front. I have kids. It's probably still food.
Well,
it's almost always food.
If you knew my brother and my sister-in-law, you'd know. No, they're Gestapo when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I see.
But no. This is the same man who doesn't do just a laundry list. He gives the instructions on his laundry in said laundry list.
Wow.
You know, he doesn't say do laundry. His to-do list says, you know, put whites in washer, turn on washer, wash clothes. You know, this is this guy.
He's thorough. Gotcha.
But but you go down there and it's just like you go down there because Lou or Nate would like, oh, can I show you? And so you go down there to show them and play whatever their latest toy is. But yeah, it's just shelves of things littered from. They got more toys than they know what to do with. Right. So, and then the other side's like a little area with a TV, and they play their Xbox or whatever. I think their Switch or whatever they're into now. I can't keep up either. But and that's the area you can watch movies and do all that. And then there's a guest room down there. But anyway, I know that feeling.
Yeah,
so.
They're everywhere.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to just kind of chit-chat, talk a little bit more about our holidays this hour. Next hour, I'm going to replay our interview with John from Oasis. I know it's after Christmas, but he always talks tech, and if you're looking for computers and things, some good information there.
Yeah.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Sheriff Mike Harrington joined us Friday, talking a little bit about DUIs and checkpoints, and I know the holidays and domestic, just kind of what they're seeing and all that, but reminding people about not drinking and driving the holiday season and all that. So we'll play that for you here about 9:15 or so. Yeah. And then we'll have all of your hourly features that include the news of the local and national variety along with all of our other stuff. Whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
I have a simple request to toy makers.
Okay.
Like, I understand that theft is an issue. Like the CEO of Walmart came out and said, if theft continues the way it is, we're going to have to shut down. But can you please make toys easier to remove from the packaging, please?
Yeah.
For like 45 minutes, grown adult men and women sat in confusion trying to figure out how to take a toy out of the plastic wrapping that it was in.
Did it require a screwdriver?
It required at one point,
some do.
We said screw it, and we just said go get the scissors. We're cutting this bad boy out.
Yeah.
Because there was this plastic thing you had to unscrew a few times, and then it would pop off. But some of them would just strip, so you just sit there, keep spinning them. They wouldn't do anything.
Well, they don't use high quality latches, but yeah, a lot of the cars and remote those things, they kind of plastic bolt them to a bed, a platform that you have to unscrew to get out of the packaging. Yeah,
and blister packs. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to think. What's the blister pack?
Okay, so if you've ever had bought an electronic piece or I bought a pair of, ironically, laser guided scissors. Okay, those as seen on TV scissors.
Okay.
You had to get other scissors from the kitchen to open this thing. It's that really thick plastic packaging that won't tear and that won't separate.
Yeah.
It's called blister packs. It's
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
okay. That was the term.
Yeah, it's I think it's because you get blisters trying to open it.
Okay. Tell me more about these laser guided scissors.
They're not good.
That's an interesting.
I saw it was an as seen on TV product. It's one of those never have to make a line to cut down again. It's got a laser thing on the scissors so you can guide your cut. It's really for wrapping paper and stuff like that.
Do really people have this problem of cutting straight?
Well, I do. I mean, I always have. So I saw it. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Here's the problem. The laser that's on the scissors moves with the scissors.
So the line moves.
So the line, it's never steady. It's not steady at all.
I think
it's the stupidest thing I've ever held in my hands. It's the stupidest
It's a straight
invention.
crooked line.
Right.
It'll still look like this.
If you can cut straight, then yeah, you can cut straight. But if you even slightly err this way, and you're like, well, the line's going that way.
That's why I was kind of I don't see how this works. That's why I was kind of interested in
it. In concept, great idea.
Yeah.
The commercial really sells it. In practice, a terrible invention.
How strong is the laser?
Is
it good to mess with the cats? Look good.
That's pretty much the only good use I'm going to get out of it.
There you go. Now you got a pair of scissors and a cat toy.
I didn't even think about that. Merry Christmas, Stefan and Tony.
Why do you keep stabbing? No, it's a cat toy.
It's a useful cat toy.
Yeah. But, yeah. Okay.
But I'm just, simple request, make packaging a little easier for parents.
Yep. Well, and then add that to the scrap heap of gadgets. It just wasn't lived up to the... I got to admit, that sounds gimmicky. It sounds gimmicky.
I was really excited at first.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, finally I can cut straight.
Yeah.
You can cut as straight as that laser is.
Yeah. I think the tried and true is just get a ruler and
draw a line.
If you're that, can't eyeball it that bad. Yeah, because it's like putting a laser on the hammer. Yeah. It's like I don't see how that's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hindsight is foresight. I sat and thought about it for a couple minutes, and I realized that is a free moving laser. It's not set on a point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not cutting to an end goal.
Just word for the wise. Not every as seen on TV item is as awesome as it appears.
Turns out most aren't.
Some are. I will give a few some love, but not all of them.
The few that I've seen that are that actually are worth their weight are like Scrub Daddy.
Yeah,
that thing's awesome. If you ever do you own a Scrub Daddy?
I'm familiar with them.
They're great.
Yeah.
Those things are great. You get them cold and they scour warm, and it's the best sponge ever. And then like OxyClean.
Yeah,
pretty much anything that what was that dude's name? Billy Mays.
Yeah, Billy Mays.
Anything that Billy Mays put his name on was pretty good.
I'm assuming the spray tape. That one. Is
that a Christmas present?
That's a Christmas sweater, isn't it?
Well, because there's still a sticker on it.
It's a nice looking sweater.
My sticker.
There's a sticker on it. It's right there. It says XL. XL.
I've pretty sweat. Is that a Christmas sweater?
Don't put my shirt size on blast.
You're wearing it.
I've worn pants before and had friends come up and tear the sticker off because I forgot to.
Yeah.
So.
That's a handsome sweater.
It is nice.
Is that what you got for Christmas?
Yeah.
One of your Christmas gifts?
Yeah, it's still fresh.
It is. He looks kind of normal today with the sweater. I'm just kidding.
As he came in, I had the opening notes to Last Christmas playing in my head. You got a real like George Michael look about you.
By the way, speaking of that, I don't play the game, but had I played the game, I would have been out on Christmas Day.
No, you'd been safe on Christmas Day.
Oh, well, that's the first time all season I heard it when I was watching football on Christmas.
Really?
And one of the bumper musics in and out was The Last Christmas. I was like, oh, there it is. And that was the first time. I don't play, but, I noticed
December
when I hear that
1st
song.
through 11:59 and 59 seconds on Christmas Eve.
Well, then I made it until Christmas Day to hear it.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, my aunt got me this sweater.
Nice.
I like it.
It's pretty good. It's a nice sweater. It looks warm. It's going to be 65 today, so you're going to be shedding in here a little bit. But
it was 10 last week. That blows my mind.
I know. Well, it's going to be windy tomorrow. It's going to be like 60 tomorrow, but it's going to be like 20, 30 mile an hour winds. So maybe you can bust it back out for that. So yeah, I got a nice Commanders one I'm not wearing today and stuff. But I'll tell more about that here in a little bit. It is 7:28. Let's go ahead and do weather and take a quick commercial break, and then we'll chit chat about more Christmas stuff on the other side. You know what? Let's do news and all that too, since it is almost 7:30. All right, first let's do your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a stationary front over the area, so we may get some cloud cover through about midday, but sunshine this afternoon. Pretty mild. Our high will be in the low to mid-60s. A little bit of lingering cloud cover overnight with upper 30s and low 40s. Some sun and some clouds, and getting windy on Wednesday. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and will stay in the low 60s. Fair and cooler Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 27 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 81%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. Today, mostly sunny. Highs near 65 expected with winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of 36 degrees, so it's even above freezing. How nice is that? Winds will be out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 65 once again tomorrow, but the winds will be lingering tomorrow out of the southwest, 10 to 15 early, later in the day increasing 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 36. Winds will remain breezy out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour. After midnight, they'll drop down 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, a little bit cooler, but still not too bad. Partly cloudy. Highs near 60, 59 officially on Thursday. Winds will be out of the west at around 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 33. For you Friday, partly cloudy, 60 for a high. And then for your New Year's weekend, New Year's Eve, Saturday, mostly sunny and 64. For you New Year's Day, ringing in the new year with a chance of rain, 20% chance of rain for New Year's Day Sunday, mostly cloudy, 62, and then a 20% for day number 2 of 2023 on Monday, a 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny, 56. So much better this week than last as far as the temps go, but a little bit of moisture too. We'll see. But enjoy today. Today's probably going to be the nicest day of the week, mostly. But one could make an argument for Saturday too. So we'll see. All right, it is 7:31. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get you into news and all that as well. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When Rhonda was experiencing severe abdominal pain, she knew she could count on Artesia General Hospital's emergency department to provide critical care any time of day or night.
I didn't think twice about driving the 45 minutes from my home to Artesia's ER. I felt like I was their only patient. Excellent care from everyone, and I'm thankful beyond measure.
Each year, thousands of patients trust Artesia General Hospital with their health emergency. With specialty certifications in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma care, their emergency room physicians have the experience you need when every second counts. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Traditionally, the end of the year is the best time to buy a new vehicle. Well, here at the Tailgate Nation, we're not tinkering with a great tradition like that. Right now at Roswell Ford, we have the best inventory and the best prices we've seen in a long time. Lots and lots of clean late model cars and trucks ready to carry your family through the coming year and many years to come. That's because we put every pre-owned vehicle through a rigorous 139-point inspection and give you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can bring it back if it turns out you don't like it. And we're always looking for more really nice vehicles to sell. So if you have one, please bring it by for an on-the-spot offer. Roswell Ford is also getting regular shipments of new Ford cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs with some impressive factory incentives. But they won't last long, so you better move fast. It's time for a new vehicle, and it just happens to be the very best time to buy. So hurry in to Roswell Ford and join the Tailgate Nation.
The Red Raiders.
Running room to the 5. He's going to score!
The Rebels.
And they'll win it in double overtime!
Live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
The kick is right down the middle. It's good! Red Raiders beat Oklahoma.
It's the Texas Bowl. Join us Wednesday, December 28th on your home for Red Raider football.
It's your Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Rebels of Ole Miss, the Texas Bowl. Wednesday, December 28th, 6 p.m. on KSVP, AM and FM.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us this hour. Our top story, forecasters were calling for a slight warm-up in southeast New Mexico before the next storm system arrives on Wednesday. Today's high, under mostly sunny skies, was expected to top 66 degrees, but then tomorrow it's going to turn very windy again. Blowing dust is even possible, and the skies will turn mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Winds could gust in excess of 40 miles per hour beginning tomorrow. Authorities have released the name of a man who died last week in a crash on Highway 62, 180, near Carlsbad. The crash Wednesday afternoon left 45-year-old Earl Burton dead. State police responded and found that Burton's car was headed east in the wrong lanes, the westbound side. He collided head-on with a Chevy pickup truck. Burton died at the scene while the driver of the pickup was treated for only minor injuries. Police reports also indicate alcohol was likely a factor in the crash. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I love when tech dramatically impacts a person's life, like this scenario. A soldier returns from the front lines. He or she is having trouble adjusting back to family life. They're irritable, anxious, and worst of all, they can't sleep at night because of recurring nightmares. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Now there's an Apple Watch that helps. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. I spoke with one of the first soldiers to get the Apple Watch app, along with the app's developer. The soldier hadn't slept a full 8 hours for years. The nightmares wouldn't let him. The app's developer's dad had the same issues. This app detects when a nightmare is happening. It gently eases the person out of the dream and back to sleep. It's called Nightwear, Night, W-A-R-E, and the cost is usually covered by insurance. That soldier slept 8 hours straight the first night he used the app. And be sure to try my longer daily podcast when you're on the go. It's called Kim Commando Today. What do you do when something just doesn't work? You Google it. Too often, that's a complete waste of time. You need someone to hold your hand. Maybe you're lucky enough to have someone to call for help or come over. But let's face it, they're too busy for you. Finding tech support online is risky. That's why I partner with top tech experts to give you 24/7 live support that you can trust. They'll fix your problems, or there's no charge. I'm so proud to tell you about GetKimsHelp.com. Whether it's a problem with your Wi-Fi, printer, smartphone, computer, TV, smart speaker, or another connected device, the experts at GetKimsHelp.com fix most issues in 10 minutes or less. High-tech troubleshooting tools like virtual house calls let them resolve even the most complex issues quickly. So stop Googling. Have your problem solved right now. Visit GetKimsHelp.com. It's an affordable way to fix problems with the help from experts who you can trust. GetKimsHelp.com. GetKimsHelp.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:36. Happy post-Christmas, everybody. Hope everyone's having a delightful day. Hey, if you'd like to donate blood and give a gift of your blood to save a life, you can do that this week here in Roswell. And in Carlsbad, too. Actually, today in Carlsbad at Western Commerce Bank, they're going to be doing a blood drive from 1 to 5. And you get a Holiday Heroes t-shirt if you donate today there in Carlsbad. If you're here in Roswell and don't feel like driving to Carlsbad to give up your sweet blood, then you can
stay in town and donate on Thursday. They're going to be at the Vitalant office, number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza, this Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon. And if you'd like to schedule an appointment for either today in Carlsbad or for folks here in Roswell on Thursday, reach out and call 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. By the way, these are critical day, what's called part of their critical day promo, December 21st through January 8th. If you donate blood, platelets, or plasma, and get an exclusive long sleeve T-shirt, 200 bonus points for those that do that, redeemable via email. So you can. They got kind of a rewards program now.
You had me a long sleeve tee.
Yes, I got a long sleeve Under Armour polo for Christmas. One of my shirts for Christmas. Pretty nice. I haven't tried it out yet, but I will be wearing that as I need to here very soon. I did pretty good on Christmas gifts. I think I got a hint from people.
Real quick.
Yes.
Y'all were talking about ad products last few
Mm-hmm.
minutes ago. What was the last thing y'all were talking about?
As seen on TV, you're talking about products? Yes.
It was the laser scissors.
The
laser scissors, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this ad just recently called Yummy Can Bacon or Yummy Bacon Can. No, it's Yummy Can Bacon.
Okay.
And it's like a plastic can that you basically, and it has like this little stand where you put the bacon in.
So you can like microwave bacon?
And you microwave it, right?
And you put it in the microwave.
And it tastes like bacon? Don't taste like microwave bacon?
It's supposed to crisp it up and make it like to where
the can cooks it all evenly.
and like drips the oil down and all that.
So it's there you could buy the microwave egg thing and then the microwave bacon thing and then microwave your whole breakfast.
Mm-hmm. In theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a runny hot mess.
It's already a hack in itself because it all the oil drips down and then you can pour it out.
Yeah. Whenever they tell you that garbage, don't believe it. See all the fat? Like George Foreman? Love the grill. If you're buying it for health reasons, you got suckered.
True.
Remember? They're like, see all the...
Oh, dude,
I cook a steak on here. All the grease ends up... Yeah, it ends up anywhere you put heat on meat. It goes somewhere.
I've toyed with the idea of bringing a George Foreman grill to work and just like keeping one at the office.
And then he fires.
Just so I could like panini my sandwiches.
He just makes fish sandwiches in here all day. At least he's not microwaving the fish.
Right.
But
it's feta and whitefish on rye. Want some?
The way they make the bacon look though is it's still soft but crispy.
It's still real. It's floppy. It's not like I've seen this product. I think if it's the same product, I've seen it like in action.
Yeah.
And the bacon is floppy.
Flaccid bacon, no one wants.
I don't know.
You want a good, crisp, stout bacon.
You want to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be the odd one out here and say I'm a fan of
You
the
like
floppy bacon.
You like floppy bacon?
You like the flaccid, sloppy?
Yeah, I don't like
bacon.
Hard, crunchy cardboard.
I like it almost burnt. I like it to where that point where like the fat renders to where it's like crunchy. That's like the.
I just like it
bacon
good
for
and
me.
crispy. I don't like it burnt. I don't
At that
like
point,
it
it loses all its
rubbery.
flavor to me.
Oh, that's when it's the height of flavor. That's flavor country right there.
Flavor country.
That's right.
Is that like Flavor Town?
It's close. It's adjacent.
Isn't that where the Marlboro Man lives in Flavor Country?
Well, it's where he did live for a good long portion of his short life.
That's where he kept his oxygen tank in Flavor Country.
No, my one big gift, and I posted up on Facebook. I'm a huge fan of the band AJR.
Yes.
And one of the singers in the band AJR, Jack, he wears a specific kind of hat. And it's just called the Jack hat. It's actually called a tracker hat if you're looking for it like online. But somebody got me a Jack hat.
Nice.
And I was so happy.
Nice. Well, I got that was my hint thing I was telling you about. Like, because I got, I don't know, 6-7 gifts. 2 of them were hats. So I don't know if they're sending me a message like, "Hey, you sure hat?" But I'm thankful because they're really nice hat. I mean, I got a Commander's ball cap.
Nice.
And then I got finally a hat that I think I should be wearing, but I've never been quite brave enough to pull the trigger on.
Okay.
And they got me one, and it fits well. So I think I'm going to start wearing the cabbie style hat with the.
Oh yeah.
I got a nice one,
Like a driver's cap?
Like the cabbie hat.
I got a nice one,
a tiger cap,
and I do like, and then I like the look. I like wearing them. I just never
had the gumption to do it, and now I've got one, and I think I'm going to start wearing it.
The problem with the cabbie hat is it went through a really weird period in like the late 90s, early 2000s where everybody was wearing them, but backwards.
Yeah, and it was the ruse.
It looks, it's the Kangol, basically, the Kangol hat.
Yeah, no, mine's more like I'm a man in his 50s wearing.
Like you should also be wearing a jacket with patches on the elbows.
Yeah, you know, like if you first see me, like this man might be educated, and then I open my mouth and all that goes out
and
the
he
window.
realized, no, he's not. Nice.
That's the hat that says I'm Irish.
Yeah,
or something.
And then my wife got me nice Commanders, the military, salute to military, the green ones with the pullover hoodie sweatshirt with the kangaroo pouch. What I like about it, because it's got a zipper pouch.
Oh.
So it's not only got the kangaroo pouch, but a full-on pocket zipper in there.
Wow.
So you can put like your phone in there and zip it up, and it won't fall out when you get out of your, when you move around in the pouch there.
That's actually handy because I love my hoodie, but you put your phone in this thing, it
kind of does that, and this one's got a zip one on the side.
You get fallout issues,
But they only give you one right here. They don't give you two on either side, which that would have just been like, why we do two sides? You only get one.
You only need one.
But I got some really I got a steak flipper. I got some chocolate, which and stuff like that.
I was very thankful that my kids are the age they are this Christmas because I didn't have to go and get expensive electronics this year, which really helped. Because I didn't have a huge Christmas budget.
You're not far.
I know, dude. I'm stressed out about it. That as soon as it's gonna be PlayStation 7.
Well, apparently, and I just learned this because I guess the PlayStation 5 is
PlayStation 9.
Yeah, well, the PlayStation 5 is like impossible to get, really, right?
It's still, which is like 2 years after the fact, because that thing came out like 2 years ago, and it's still next to impossible to get.
Because my in-laws got my nieces a PlayStation 4 because that's the best they could get.
Right.
And I think it's a refurb. It was they're that hard to get, and so now they're happy and love the games because they didn't have anything, and now they're sports people. Like my youngest niece Cam. She's a big golfer, got a set of clubs, and she's probably going to be the next Nola Begay or something in years from now or whatever. She's probably going to end up that way. She loves golf, and she's really good, and she's young, and
that's awesome.
She's worthy of real clubs, and it's real that. And so she loves them, and
That's not a cheap.
But here's the thing that got me with her, and that's what she loves. She literally watches YouTube videos and stuff all day and loves. But it's not like what little girls are watching. She's watching stats on shows and sports, and like they got her the entire season of Topps baseball cards as one of her gifts.
Wow.
And she loved it. She was like going through and studying stats, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
You don't see that very often.
something you don't see as often. You're right, and it was kind of cool to see that she was. So I got a feeling if she doesn't end up being a pro golfer, she's going to be that. Like when you watch Sunday Night Football on NBC, and there's that guy going, "Now look, if the Commanders win, their playoff chances today go from 30% to 80%."
Right?
Yeah, she could be that person that's sitting up there. Well, if Tom Brady eats a Hot Pocket Sunday morning, the increased odds of them winning go up 32%.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, she's passionate about something that could be a career someday.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool to see that. So.
I had. It's funny you mentioned that. The reason I laughed when you were talking about that was because I walked in on my daughter watching YouTube the other day, and that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree thing. She was watching a YouTube video of the PBS Kids jingles from like 1998 to today.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd she stumble upon that?
Because she finds random weird stuff on YouTube. But the thing is, that's exactly the kind of video I would be watching. I'd be like, what are you watching? And she'd like fiddle with her remote and try to change it to something like a normal kid would watch. Yeah. And then I go into my room and I'm watching weird ads from the 90s and 2000s.
I watch that too, because sometimes a logo will change its jingle.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, wait, I want to find the one that I like.
From my era or whatever. And so she'll just like be watching random videos like that. Or like it'll take like a jingle from like a famous jingle and like alter it or something like that. That's her whole YouTube library is those kind of videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This, speaking of that era, and I told you a little bit about this earlier. My older niece, Ty, she's of the age where she's learning to drive now, and so she's 15. She's in that, she's now a full-on teenager, and she's going from, she's a great kid. Just she's very smart, very, very nice person, but she's getting to be a teenager, and she's no longer a kid anymore. You know what I mean? And it's and as you look, and you're just like, man, you look like you feel like you're getting old and all that, but you realize that people, it's like, dang, they're more adult-like now. It's crazy. But anyway, so one of her gifts that she asked for from her grandparents was a gaming chair.
Okay.
A chair for gaming. And of course, her grandparents played a joke and put a fold-out chair with, like, cards and checkers taped to it. Said, here you go.
Here you go. That's pretty good.
And then they pulled out the real gaming chair. But the reason she wanted the gaming chair is she has a friend, a guy that, and I think he's a year older, or he's around her age. He plays Fortnite.
Okay.
And he's a professional gamer.
Oh.
And he makes $70,000 a year, and he's like 15 playing Fortnite.
Dude, it's insane.
To the point where he took his family to Florida for Christmas. Like, he just, like, her, and so she'll play with him. And, like, I think, like a week ago, she went and played, and I think earned like $200 just hanging out with him playing, and so. Nice. So, maybe she'll turn into that and be but it just, I get it. God bless him. Am I jealous? Yeah, a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. There's a.
I really wish
I would have bust my butt and work hard, and this guy probably works a couple hours a night, makes $70,000 a year playing video games.
I really wished I would have gotten good at editing videos, because I could have. I mean, YouTubers and Twitch streamers, they make so much money.
Yeah,
it's depressing.
And it's too late for me at this point because I have to get good at games.
Yeah,
which that's going to take a while.
Well, here's the beauty of it. There's a whole like genre of people, group of people that will watch classic games. So like, you could go back and play like Super Mario.
So if they want to watch me play Tecmo Super Bowl all day, will there people watch me do that?
I'm sure there's an audience for that.
Because I can do that. I'll bust out an old Super Nintendo and somehow figure to put it on the web, and I'll play Tecmo Super Bowl all day if people want to pay me.
People are very lonely. People are so lonely. They're just looking for another person or a group of people.
Well, how do these lonely people get money
to hang out with?
Who's got this kind of money to throw at people playing old games?
Mike's gaming channel.
Here's the thing.
Gonna happen.
Here's the thing. If you think that's, I mean, that requires a level of skill. At least you're learning how to and getting good at playing a video game.
Right.
Go look up mukbang.
Are you
familiar with the term mukbang?
I think I've heard of it.
Sure.
I have no idea. It sounds dirty.
Okay, so what it is, it's just there's a whole like series of people where they'll sit down in front of mountains of food and they just eat. They don't eat. Most of them don't even talk. They just sit there and silently eat food.
And people watch this?
People
and have money?
obsess over these
Really?
videos. Oh
I can
my
do that.
God, dude.
I'll be dead in a week, but I can do that.
You go online and just type in mukbang. You're going to find, it's MUKBANG. You're going to find just all kinds of just people eating in front of cameras.
Set me up. All right, give me a bowl of pasta.
All you need is a camera, a ring light, and some good pasta.
All right.
And you're set.
I'm going to start doing this. If people are willing to pay, how do you get how do you get your foot in the door? You just start eating stuff?
Start posting videos, yeah.
Yeah, but where do you, on like YouTube?
Yeah.
You get a YouTube account and just start eating?
There's enough people on the planet that you can be hella famous and only like 100,000 people know who you are. And, you're still making a living.
There was the guy who was really skinny who did it and ended up becoming like
they're almost always skinny,
massively overweight over time.
So
he became a millionaire, but ruined his body in the process.
Yeah, I've already ruined my body, so I got that going for me.
Halfway there, man.
So let me get this straight. But how do you get? I get it. You just but how do you get seen? I don't understand.
It's the algorithm. It's just present. If you're online and you're somebody who's a fan of these,
yeah,
you type in mukbang and you'll get a bunch presented to you. Or if you're like, if somebody who watches a lot of these type of videos.
Do you have to label your video a certain way?
Yeah, it's keywords. You put like keywords in your descriptors or whatever.
Mukbang or whatever.
Yeah. And then when people search for it, those keywords are what pop up in the search, and then your video pops up.
Hashtag mukbang.
It's simple.
That's what I do.
It's like I've followed certain YouTubers for, years, almost a decade now, that most people have never even heard of. It's just they make a very comfortable living off of 100,000, 200,000 people watching.
So let me ask: is there a market for bad gamers? Like if I can't play games, and I just get on here and play games poorly, will people still watch me and make me money?
Here's what
most of them are female.
Here's what you that's true.
That sounds sexy.
Here's what you do. It sounds sexy. Here's what you do. You just have to have an opinion about something and then just talk. Because like I could do that. I watched this guy. His name's Owen Morgan, but his channel's called Telltale Atheist, and he just does videos on like different cults, Scientology, Jehovah's Witnesses, stuff like that. And he just talks long form. He'll like show videos, but the whole time he's doing it, he's sitting there playing Mario Maker or Mario Kart or something, and like
so you can watch him play the game
just,
while
like,
he's
failing over and over again,
philosophizing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
there's a market out there for
while I bore
everybody.
people with other stuff.
That's right.
Huh.
Or you could just scream a lot and get angry a lot when you're bad at the game.
Oh, okay.
That gets a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
Does it?
Yeah, if you're somebody who fails a lot and then just like throws a controller or something.
Oh, well, shoot. I would be a millionaire already if you watched me play play Tecmo or play a Nintendo
You
when I was
should
a
post
kid.
a Twitch of you editing audio.
Sean's might have heard of this, but you should look up a guy named Dashy Plays or Dashy Pro. He's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. All he does is scream every 5 seconds.
So if I game while eating copious amounts of ramen, will it be like really blow up?
Then you're really going somewhere. The mukbang Twitch stream. I'm down. I like it. And also like saying something anti-Semitic with full mouths full of ramen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, maybe I should do this. Why not? If some idiot's willing to pay me, watch me eat food and stuff, and I'm just willing to do it on a camera.
It's upsetting that people have figured out how to work the system and get paid copious amounts of money just to do these things. But it's like I constantly feel like I'm too old to pull any of this stuff off.
I don't know. Maybe that's the angle. The old people doing it.
There you go.
Because now I'm sure the average person you watch doing one of these videos is probably 20. You got some 50-year-old man, and then I will. Well, here's the best part.
Yeah.
I will do all this modern kid stuff, but talk like me and my kid, and I'll use like 90s and 80s jargon and lingo.
There's other ways you monetize, like you get yourself a Patreon where you can like have uncensored content or something behind that paywall where people have to pay for your Patreon to get to that content.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's my Patreon again?
That's whatever you want it to be.
I'd love to see.
Sounds like a fancy word. What is that
I'd
again?
love to see Mike play like Madden or Final Fantasy or something.
No, I'm just thinking like that Super Bowl game you've been playing. That
Tecmo, my Retro Bowl game?
Yeah, Retro Bowl.
Yeah.
You could sit and just play Retro Bowl for hours and interact with comments and stuff.
Better yet, I
obviously.
play most of my games on the toilet, so I
That's
put a
your
camera
gimmick?
on the toilet
That's
playing
your gimmick.
Retro
You have a
Bowl.
camera set up in front of the toilet, and you start playing your game, or whatever, and there'll be a chat open, so you have to have like a screen, obviously.
Toilet time with Mikey, and we play Retro Bowl and talk on the toilet.
This might upset Kim because you're probably going to have like a 2-screen setup in your bathroom with a ring light.
I got a little room. We could do this.
Okay, cool. Then we're good. Because you're going to need the screen to play your game, so that's your phone. But you're also going to need a screen to have like Twitch open so you can read comments and super chats if they come in. Those automatically get read.
Too bad this didn't happen on that time when my e-cig battery went off in my pocket,
right?
And that would have been one of my most viewed videos.
If you were on a live stream when that happened, yeah, because you'd stand up and they would see your bare butt trying to get.
And then you'd see me tossing a battery into the sink across the room and watch it go poof, and shoot out and go into a barrel of flames into the shower curtain.
And we were there.
Hopefully the camera doesn't just tip over to your lap.
Yeah, and then it gets a toilet bowl shot of the stuff in there. But it's 7:56. Let me do with this. Let's take a quick break before we get you into news. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Tournament action going on. Basketball, the Poe Corn Tournament begins today, as does the girls tournament hosted by Goddard, traditionally hosted by Goddard. Well, we've got the Poe Corn beginning today with Roswell against Kirtland Central. That starts at 7:30. That's boys basketball, of course. And the Goddard Rockets will be playing Navajo Prep. Goddard is 1-7. Navajo Prep is 7-0. That also starts at 7:30 at the Goddard Gym. Girls basketball, it's Roswell 5-4 are playing host to Lovington, which is 6-3 overall. That starts at 4 o'clock at the Roswell High Gym. And Goddard, the Goddard girls at 6-4 will be taking on Dexter, which is 3-6 overall. That starts at 4 o'clock over at Goddard High School. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next, but I think I found my gimmick. I'm just going to sleep and let people pay me to interrupt my sleep.
You just put stuff on a wall, like donate a rose for an air horn.
There you go. That's going to be, that sounds really easy. I'll do it on the weekends. So. All right. Look for that soon. Wake Mike up. All right. It is. You better pay good, though, to wake me up. It's closing in on 8 o'clock. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back after a short nap. And for $5, you can wake me up. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It wasn't only the snow, and it wasn't only the bitter cold. It was also the fierce winds that brought so much misery to western New York State. The region, including the city of Buffalo, struggling to recover from the deadly winter storm that knocked out power to thousands, made travel impossible, and resulted in the deaths of 28 people. The National Weather Service's Bob Oravec says 4 feet of snow fell in some areas.
It definitely was a historic event. Looks like the temperatures this week will be warming up pretty nicely, so there will be some melting. Temperatures by Wednesday, by Wednesday, 40 degrees, 46 by Thursday, even in the lower 50s by Friday.
Meantime, the Buffalo Niagara International Airport still closed, not scheduled to reopen until late tomorrow morning. The Department of Transportation says it's going to look into flight cancellations by Southwest Airlines. Thousands of cancellations leaving travelers stranded at airports all around the country. Questions remain about the vaccine mandate that's being lifted for members of the U.S. military.
President Biden opposed the Republican-backed provision to no longer require members of the armed forces to get the COVID-19 vaccine, but he ultimately signed the year-end defense spending bill into law. Now, the Pentagon has 30 days to work out the details for rescinding the mandate. Under the order, more than 8,400 troops were forced out of the military for refusing the vaccine. Thousands of others sought religious and medical exemptions. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Vladimir Putin says he's ready to talk about ending the war in Ukraine. And Ukraine's foreign minister says his country wants a summit aimed at ending the hostilities, but he adds he doesn't foresee Russia taking part. The war grinds on. Watching Wall Street, stocks are lower right now. The Dow is down 71 points. The Nasdaq off 143 and the S&P 25 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Foreign companies are applauding China's decision to end coronavirus quarantine for travelers from abroad.
Business groups had warned China the strict quarantine measures was shifting business away from China because foreign executives were blocked from visiting. However, the abrupt U-turn by the government has left hospitals flooded with feverish, wheezing patients as the virus spreads. Architect Lu Haoming believes the easing of restrictions could have been handled better. The government should have done the job in a more meticulous way. I'm Karen Chamas.
South Korea's president calling for stronger air defenses and high-tech stealth drones, while the military is apologizing for failing to shoot down North Korean drones that crossed the border for the first time in 5 years. South Korea's military scrambled warplanes and attack helicopters yesterday, but they failed to bring down any of the North Korean drones. News and analysis at townhall.com. A heads up for the Biden administration regarding the southern border crisis.
Mark Morgan, former acting commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection and now a visiting fellow in the Heritage Foundation's Border Security and Immigration Center, says President Joe Biden has what he needs to secure the border. He says the Biden administration needs to keep Title 42 in place and stop rewarding illegal immigration and move to secure our borders. He warns that if Title 42 goes away, some 2 million or so illegal aliens that they were removing under Title 42 are going to be released into the United States. And he warns a massive invasion of illegal immigrants will create a catastrophic crisis for America. Keith Peters reporting.
A fourth electrical substation was vandalized late on Christmas Day in Washington State, cutting power to more than 10,000 Puget Sound Energy customers. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos Tuesday morning, everybody.
Indeed. The final Tuesday
of 2022. It is. It is the last one.
That's right.
So enjoy it. Drink it in.
Soak up all your Tuesday dreams.
Yeah.
Last time to do it.
Do all of your, for those working, you're back to work today. For those, that still enjoy the holiday week off, enjoy. Teachers and kids and people just smart enough to take the whole week off. Good on you.
Yep.
Enjoy.
If you saved your PTO up for just such an occasion.
Those traveling, stay in good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Best you can. I know it's not easy because, especially if you've been stuck day number whatever at airport, whatever. Yeah, no thanks. I'm glad I'm not involved in any of that this year. So.
Yeah, I choose to take my fate in my own hands. That's why I drive.
Although, I got family coming out this summer, so I imagine I might be going next Christmas to Maryland. I got a feeling. So next year I might be with y'all, sitting in an airport, yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering. I would love to drive, but it's just too far to drive.
That's a son of a gun of a drive, dude.
That's a long drive.
Across the country, essentially.
Yeah, that's a long drive. It's even if you drive straight, it's still a long drive. You know what I mean?
Even straight through, it's like a day and a half.
To be honest, you break it up into 3 days, and it's still long days of driving each day. So, and we did that the last time I've driven that, and but then we sight saw. So we did 3 days, but I also spent like half a day in Graceland,
right?
A couple hours in Oklahoma City at the so there was a lot of stopping and smelling the roses, so to speak. But a trip this way, and plus, I ain't gonna lie, you know, Christmas time, you driving from here to East Coast anywhere, and it would be Mid-Atlantic, so Virginia, D.C. area for me. You know, you're gonna hit some storms, some something somewhere. Where you're hitting. So yeah, so flying, I'd still take flying over that.
Yeah, if I was going to somewhere like one of the coasts, I would definitely fly.
You always get stuck on an interstate.
I feel like I'd be okay driving to like
Texas because it froze over. Yeah,
to like an LA or to the West Coast, that's fine. But like to the East Coast, I'm gonna fly. If I'm going to New York, I'm probably gonna fly.
Yeah. For Christmas, During the summer, it's a nice drive.
Yeah.
Winter has a whole lot of nonsense there. So anyway, but I commiserate with those that are dealing with travel woes today. So, I mentioned I got some Commander's hat and gear for Christmas and all of that, and of course I joked. I said, well, if a new ownership group buys them here in the off season, which sounds like it's going to happen. They're probably going to change the logo and everything again. So there's like a 70% chance they'll rebrand the team.
But in that case, you've got a collector's item.
Or
it's like anybody that bought merch from when they were just football team.
Yeah.
The Washington football team.
Yes.
Like if you bought merch for that, at this point, those are collector's items because that was the one season that they were that.
It's a 27-hour road trip, according to my wife. But yeah. So
that's miserable.
Yeah. So I got those, but and this I got to share real quickly before I get into interviews the latest embarrassment that is my team, the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Yeah. So
they were doing good for a while.
This has nothing to do with the play on the field. Nothing to do with it.
Gotcha.
Granted, they got a quarterback problem, and Carson Wentz probably going to start on Sunday, but that's another thing. So, the Washington Commanders on this Saturday, or Sunday, January 1st, Sunday, the Commanders will take on the Cleveland Browns at home. On January 1st, Washington Commanders have put this meme out. You won't want to miss our legendary Hogs offensive line recognition with special guest coach Joe Gibbs. They want to honor the Hogs. If you don't know who the Hogs are, go look them up. They're iconic part of Washington Redskin history, basically. That being said, they put this out talking about they're going to honor the Hogs.
Right.
Guess what broke news yesterday? Washington legends John Riggins, Joe Jacoby among group suing Commanders. Why? The Hogs' offensive line has a bone to pick with Dan Snyder and the Washington Commanders.
Oh,
no! Several former football icons are teaming up to sue Dan Snyder and the Commanders. O-Line Entertainment LLC, which was formed by the original members of the Hogs, the brand, built in the 80s, and it features John Riggins, Joe Jacoby, Rick Doc Walker, Fred Dean, and Mark May. They have filed a lawsuit against the Commanders organization. The Hogs are the Washington offensive line that helped the team win the Super Bowl. Right. The Hogs claim that the organization, which rebranded their name to the Commanders earlier this year, are trying to profit off the Hogs name without giving compensation to those who originally built the brand. Huh. So they're trying to glom in and save their reps by putting the Hogs up on a pedestal and all, and the Hogs are like, wait a minute. No. And they, because, and you're thinking, why do they have their own? So back in the 80s, they were very big. They tried to market it. They were doing the Hogs. They have the Hogettes, the whole deal. Mm-hmm. The Hogs, those guys said, well, we'll make our own shirts. We'll make our own thing. They had their own beer. They had their Hoghead beer, which I don't think is available anymore, but it was at the time. And so they created, so that's why all this is there. It wasn't just, let's create this thing to sue Dan Snyder. This was their thing back in the 80s when a bunch of linemen said, we got an entrepreneurial thing. Let's capitalize on this Hogs thing and make some cash. And now they want to embrace the Hogs and all that because of the Redskins' history, and they so badly want to incorporate that into the Commanders because Commanders ain't got nothing. All they've got is the heritage that is the Washington Redskins from Joe Gibbs and the eras gone by. Mm-hmm. And this is like so I just see this, and it's just another layer of embarrassment by this ownership group, and just trivializing and besmirching. Mm-hmm. The heritage of this team. So it does not surprise me. So I get it. I'm like, oh, here we go again. It's another layer of embarrassment. So now their Sunday's honor thing to the Hogs is probably going to be a big hot mess. We'll see what that's going to be. Yeah.
If they're going to be there, even it's not going to be pretty.
Once again, they can't get out. They screwed up the Sean Taylor thing twice. They can't get out of their own way when it tries to service the fans and the history of this team. They just backfire every time.
I heard a great line about the Commanders. And it was basically, he said, well, Carson Wentz got injured, and we found out that the backup quarterback had that dog in him.
We knew that before.
That was the line. We found out that the backup had that dog in him. Well put.
Well, the dog left Sunday.
It was just sleepy.
Well, he came to earth because we needed a quarterback with actual quarterback skills, and he doesn't have them. And he's way better than you and I, but you know what I mean. There's a reason why he was playing in the Arena League, and there's a reason. He's got all heart and he's Rudy. He's Rudy. He's got the heart of a lion, a guy on your team that's just a guy that you love on your team. But when it comes to getting the job done, he just doesn't have the tools. He just doesn't. And it's sad and unfortunate. But, it's that thing. It's like, I wish I put that dude's heart in someone else's body, but it is what it is.
Right.
So
he's got the hope. He just doesn't have the ability.
Yeah. But his hope is so great that he pulls a rabbit out every once in a while. But there's a lot of ducks before you get to that rabbit. That's all I'm saying.
But that makes the rabbit more special.
Yeah, unless you're trying to win actual football games.
Well, sure.
All right, let me give you the rundown. We're going to replay our interview with John from Oasis Computers here in just a little bit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have stationary front over the area, so we may get some cloud cover through about midday, but sunshine this afternoon. Pretty mild. Our high will be in the low to mid 60s. A little bit of lingering cloud cover overnight with upper 30s and low 40s. Some sun and some clouds, and getting windy on Wednesday. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Fair and cooler Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 30 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today. Expect highs around 65 degrees. So pretty nice today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 36 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, mostly cloudy and a high of 65. But the winds will be breezy tomorrow. Out of the southwest early, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later in the afternoon, increasing 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 36. Will remain breezy early out of the southwest, 15 to 25. But after midnight, winds will diminish down 10 to 15. But you could see some wind gusts as high as 30 tomorrow evening before all that diminishing happens.
For your Thursday, partly cloudy, highs of near 60, 59 officially. Winds out of the west at around 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 33. And looking at your holiday weekend on Friday, partly cloudy, highs near 60. For New Year's Eve Saturday, mostly sunny, 64 for a high. And New Year's Day Sunday, there's a 20% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy, 62. Chance of rain bumps up to 40% Sunday night. And then a 20% Monday. So we'll see. Could get some moisture this weekend. All right, it is 8:17. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break. And then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with John from Oasis Computers. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm amazed at just how different our store looks from a year ago. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. It's been a long time coming, but our showrooms are absolutely filled with beautiful new items. Gorgeous power reclining furniture for your living room, cozy bedroom suites and mattresses, and stylish new dining room tables and dinettes. I'll bet we have exactly what you're looking for. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy, like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
The Red Raiders. Running room to the 5. He's going to score.
The Rebels.
And they'll win it in double overtime.
Live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
The kick is right down the middle. It's good. Red Raiders beat Oklahoma.
It's the Texas Bowl. Join us Wednesday, December 28th on your home for Red Raider football.
It's your Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Rebels of Ole Miss, the Texas Bowl. Wednesday, December 28th, 6 p.m. on KSVP, AM and FM.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back from Oasis Computers, John's with us. Morning, John.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Good. Mm-hmm. Well, we're a couple days away from Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So, I imagine there's people that, technology is always a gift that people like to give during the Christmas season here. So I imagine your shop's been probably pretty busy with people either wanting stuff or trying to get some stuff prepared for family members for the Christmas holiday.
Looks like we had a lot of getting ready for the Christmas, get it fixed again, whatever.
Good.
Several messed up stuff due to Windows updates and the usual things.
Sure. Well, are we still dealing with the COVID world where supply and demand's a little tricky for computers and computer-related materials?
It seems to kind of be back to somewhat normal.
Okay.
And then I think what's happening that the sales have dropped off because everybody has bought stuff during the COVID, and now we don't really need anymore. So,
Sure.
I mean, if you pay attention to the tech industry, they're all laying people off. I think they hired most of them during the COVID. And getting stuff from home going and whatever, and sales of computers and whatever was needed. Well, it's kind of going away slowly, and
Sure.
now you got a surplus of computers, whatever. So, but we need to fix them so that people break them or they break or whatever the reason.
Well, and that's true too. I think people realize, it's like, hey, well, maybe, there's ways to make this go a little longer, and because let's face it, they build computers and things now for that mindset of in several years you're going to replace this. This is not something you keep for the rest of your life. And I don't know. I know certain age groups may not, but I think when one drops $1,500 on something, it should last a while. It should not last 3-5 years and be done.
Yeah, I do agree. I try to make them last as long as we can.
Yeah.
We do slowly get more idea about running it out of date is not as bad as we used to think.
Sure.
I think we talked about it last month too, but this Windows 11 thing is starting to how do you put it, show its true thing. Mm-hmm. Why did they cut it off at the 8th generation? Apparently something in the chip that it takes advantage of that's not in the previous chips. If you use that and you run it in the software, the older ones, older than 8th generation, do slow down quite a bit with this last update that we had, a month or two ago.
Gotcha.
And I can see it on mine. I'm running it on a machine that's not supposed to run it. And with the last big update, where the new version of Windows 11 came out, it has gotten kind of a lot slower, yes.
And
there's something to that.
Interesting. Well, and that's, but, and I get it. They're businesses, they're companies that, at the end of the day, they're here to make money. And if all your customers are using early generation stuff from 15 years ago, you know what I mean? It's hard for that company to survive and keep going. But at the same time, there's got to be a way where it's like, okay.
Well, I think
for
part
certain
of
people, they can, it's okay for them to stay in the early generation.
Well, for part of it is the attitude of the humanity. Mm-hmm. More profits.
Sure.
I think we need to change a little bit to maybe sustainability. I need to make a living, but not more profits and bigger and better and whatever.
Sure. Well, it's when you get to answer and I mean, we can get into philosophy all day about finances, but when a company has to answer to stockholders as opposed to doing what they want, then priorities change.
Yeah,
a little
Dell
bit.
is a good example on that. Dell went up and down and went up and down. Well, Dell was running it himself. Then he got ousted. The company got away from him, and it went basically rotten. The product was no good no more, and just for the profits, he bought it back with some investors. I haven't really heard much about Dell, but it's now a pretty good product. So,
well, but even still, he's still got to fight the stigma that was created before that. And when I mean, I guess in certain tech worlds, they know, okay, the guy from Dell's back, they're going to be. But for the average person that goes shopping for computers, they don't realize all that information. And so they,
what it does,
once it gets something a reputation of being bad, it's really hard to
what it
get out of
does
that.
for us now is people walk in the store and bring a certain computer in, and it's an HP again, and the hinge is broken again, and whatever you have. You seem to have less trouble with it with a Dell. So they ask, what should I buy then? It's like, well, I wouldn't buy the HP, I would buy the Dell. Mm-hmm. So it does trickle down eventually to the consumer level because it shows that the product is just not keeping up. A lot of trouble with these HPs just falling apart.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably where some of these companies can cut corners, whereas the chips, the motherboards, whatever, there's a finite price on those even, but they can, get it, they could say, okay, well, what if we use a lower quality screw to put in to hold the panel on here, or we use a cheaper plastic?
I don't know. What I
like
see, what breaks in the machines is the hinge mounts, so not the hinge itself, but where it mounts into the plastic. And to me, it looks, if you just make a little more plastic on it or put a piece of metal in between or somewhat, it would be so much better. How much can that cost? $1 more? Maybe.
But then they look at it as like, well, that's $1 per unit, which means we're going to have to charge that much more or take the hit on it.
But eventually it ends up with don't buy HP because they fall apart.
Well, that's the, wise logic would say, give the best product available and people come back. But when they're trying to answer to the stockholders, they don't care about that. They were like, well, what's next quarter look like?
That's the problem that Dell had when it went downhill. It just pure profit. Can we squeeze another penny out of it? We'll do it, with no regards to what happens next year.
Sure.
So,
and that's the thing, and there's positives and negatives for all that, but we as the consumer just have to be wise to it. And then when you go to buy products, pay more attention to the quality. And
stop by the store and get informed as to what may be better than what else.
And that's a great, if you are, maybe you haven't, maybe you're thinking, okay, well, kid's going to go to the college in the spring here, and I want to do all this. But yeah, go and ask questions before you make the purchase. If you don't know what you're really, it's okay to ask experts.
A lot of pitfalls out there. Yeah, if you don't know, it looks all the same, but it's not.
Sure. Yeah, you could literally look at, go to a big box store and you're sitting there and you look up. There's 4 computers sitting there on the shelf, and they all look the same, but they all have a various price on them. You're like, well, why is this one $200 less than this one? And if you can't figure that out, that's where you need to talk to.
But then, you may also buy the wrong thing. I think we mentioned
just because it's more expensive don't mean it's better either. That's what.
Watch out for that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's where John can come in, and first thing John's probably going to do is, okay, well, what are you going to do with this computer?
Right.
What is the task of this computer? And based on what you tell him, he'll tell you which direction to go. So.
More and more we do less and less with it. We seem to go on the internet with it, and everything goes to the internet. A lot of things that Microsoft has done up till this point have been just, you pull your hair out and ask the question, why? Why are we doing? What are we going?
Yeah.
It seems to fall a little bit more in place. It seems that Microsoft is slowly getting to the point where you can see what it does for you. It's the OneDrive storage, the Microsoft account. This last year, we've seen a lot of benefit on people that had a Microsoft account set up. Their files were backed up online. The machine comes back and restores certain files to the machine if you had a Microsoft account.
Okay.
But still, the people don't want a Microsoft account. That's the biggest fight we have. I don't want to be signed in with Microsoft. But it does have a lot of benefits, and it may save you from losing your files or something like that. What happened to me, 2 years ago now, I wiped my stuff out and said, I don't need that. And it's like, oh, you can't take me 3 hours or so to get this figured out again. The next day it was back, what I needed, what I had deleted off, and it kind of surprised me. That was because I had a Microsoft account, and it restored what it had backed up overnight.
So lucky break there.
Yeah, that opened my eyes up to that. There's something good about that Microsoft account.
Yeah, granted, it's we all get set in our ways and used to how we want to do something, and when anything that kind of skews from that, we already have a negative thought on it, and I get it because I'm the same way, and I think all of us are. Do. But sometimes some people do figure out something. You're like, okay, that does make this a simpler task. All right, and problem is in the computer world, there's so many things that get moved and done. Just I honestly think to keep people employed. I
think what the problem is that people that make the software and the hardware are rough guessing about 5 years ahead of us with what they're developing and making. We get that in 5 years. When we get it, to them it's just old news now.
Right.
To us it's brand new. Don't know how to operate it. Don't know what it's for. Don't know what the benefit is of it. Would like to keep it the same. Then finally, when we get caught on with what it does for us, like I just said about Microsoft and restoring your files, then you go like, oh, this is great. But then they are 5 years further again, and then it changes again. Just by the time you get used to it, they have something new again.
It's like by the time it comes out, it's already antiquated to, they're already, the designers already moved on to the next generation.
Well, I think what is even worse is that certain things take time for people to catch on to it, start using it. And whoever has designed it starts looking at it and say, not enough people using it. Let's just cancel this project, this thing we're doing, whatever it is. Google has a problem with that.
Sure. And I imagine, too, there's certain, like especially with Windows and things where they have to set us up incrementally to get to where they're wanting us to get to eventually. And so they may not tell us the whole game plan, but they're saying, okay, well, we're moving this section here.
Right.
And the reason why is because in our next update, it's going to offer you this, and this.
Yeah, I think we have two problems in making this better. The one problem is that people want to keep it the same and don't want to change and don't study up on what's happening. And the people that make it don't put enough information out as to what their plan is, what is going forward. They kind of tell us, but then we don't understand it.
Sure.
And then we, of course, pay no attention to it, and then we get in the middle of it. And then when it's up and running, we finally start maybe realizing it does something. For instance, a good example is Office on the phone. It's like, why? It's too small. It doesn't use. Well, doctor asked me to write down the blood pressure. I got a little trouble with blood pressure on and off. And they asked me to call if it was any better. Well, I called and said, yeah, it's getting better with the new medication that I have. Great. Well, I got a call back, and it's like, could you put that on paper and drop it off so we can see it? It's like, yeah, I guess I can. But you measure it, at home, and at work I have a measuring thing. And at home I don't have my computer right next to me. So how do I update my put in a spreadsheet? How do I update a spreadsheet? And it's like, does this work on the phone actually? I've never tried it. Well, yeah, I can put it in on the phone, but it's with me all the time. So now I'm using something that I said, why do I need this?
Sure. Right.
So yes, there is
now hindsight.
Right.
Okay. Now I got
So
it.
they deliver stuff that we do eventually start using. Not everything, but while you're in it, it doesn't seem to make any sense.
Sure. And that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's that there's something to that.
And then the new stuff making it work, where it's you're not familiar with it, don't know what it wants to do exactly, and you can't make it work right, and then you give up again.
Yeah. Yep.
So not enough help with it. It's.
And some things you're like, okay, I'd find useful, but I just don't do that kind of stuff through this computer. I do it through.
Well, that's the problem. You got 100% of the capability.
Yeah.
And most people use 20% of it. But not everybody uses the same 20%.
Exactly.
Everybody uses the other 20%. So the whole thing is needed to supply to everyone.
Sure.
But everybody uses a little different piece of it.
Which, kind of changing gears a little bit, this is kind of, so for people that are looking to do custom work or do things, maybe the better route is have John build you a computer. Build you, when we look at price points and you go to buy the big box store, say on sale special, those computers generally come with bare minimum software. Like, it's kind of like you use the car analogy. It's like if you've got work that you need a dump truck for to get done, you're not going to try to do that work with your little Hyundai. Yeah, that and so you're buying a Hyundai thinking you're getting a dump truck.
But buying too much may be a waste of money and you don't need it.
Sure.
But buying not enough wastes money because you got to buy twice because it doesn't do the job.
It's like buying a school bus when you only got two people.
Right.
You don't want that either.
The school bus will work.
Yeah.
Better than having all the kids that go to school in your car.
Yeah.
That won't work. So.
But and so computer, it's the same way. So if you're a person that you have very specific needs with it. I've used this for something at work, or I use it for I'm a person that loves to create and edit videos and make videos and things like that. So you tell them those kinds of things, and then John will give you the recommendations. Say, okay, this is what you're going to want in your computer. This you're going to need. You're probably not going to need this part, and things. Yeah. And so now you have a computer that is in quote not filled with a bunch of stuff that you're like, what the heck do I have this for, or why do I need this, or whatever. I mean, obviously with Microsoft and things, you put a version of Windows that comes with stuff that Windows puts in there. But when it comes to hardware and things like that, it's like, I don't need a high-end video card if I'm not doing, gaming and stuff on here. I'm just, but that being said, I watch a lot of movies or I upload a lot of stuff to the internet. You're going to want stuff that's a little more powerful to handle.
Yeah, for most people, everything will just about work.
Yeah.
Especially if it has that solid state drive in it, it's fast enough. That's really getting a hang up. Anybody comes in with that old drive still in it, it's like, oh, God, it's slow.
Back competitive again.
Right. So, but that's fixable, as we've talked about. What now? For about 5 years or so?
Yeah, that's been
still going on. By the way, we're still upgrading them.
Well, and I think COVID probably enhanced that process a little bit too. The fact that a lot of people had a year or two there where they're trying to make things last longer than they need to, or than they normally would have. And I think solid state saved a lot of people with it.
Well, the worst, yes, and you're true.
Yeah.
The worst thing is really, to me, that what you do with it works fine, but you can't use it no more because we don't allow it no more because it's supposedly unsafe, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, on the unsafe part, I swear, the biggest problem is the user itself. I mean, and not on purpose, but just not knowing how it works. I think we need more education or something. What, again, I can help with, too.
People with a little bit of information can be way more dangerous than people with no information.
Well, it looks too easy. You just click on things, but there's so much behind and so much you can do. And you know, and definitely check with somebody like me, whatever, because so many things come in that people want to do the old-fashioned way, and it's like, no, look at it, let's do it this way. You know,
and you can't convince them sometimes. It's like, no, this is the way I do it, and this is the way I like it, and this is what I want. And you're like, I get you, but I can literally save you time and money if you just do this.
It's getting pretty obvious where you can see what that kind of problem is with the passwords. Starting to slowly figure out that password is a major problem. That we knew that one, but where does it really come in? It comes in when you are told you need to change your password because something went wrong. That doesn't work real well. You're not ready for it. You need to get work done. Now you need to change it, so you get kind of in a state of being agitated, and then you don't write it down correctly, forget it, whatever. If you would change the password because you believe you have a problem, there may be an issue. Maybe I ought to change my password. That works pretty good. Most people have it at that point. But when you get forced to do it, and then again, and then Windows reboots and it changes stuff because it's a new update, and then it happens all at once, but you get really frustrated.
But that requires discipline on people, and not everybody have the discipline to say,
well, you don't have the discipline when you are in a hurry. You need to get something done. You need to just print this thing up, and you start the machine up. First thing it does is rebooting because of updates. If you look at your clock, it's like a good 5 minutes left.
In 10 minutes,
Right. So then finally it runs up, and then you start your, let's say, your word processor up to print it out, and it says you need to log in for it, let's say. Log in says, you better change your password now. We don't let you in. Now you need to do that. So what chance do you have that you really note that down correctly if you're already running late? And
makes sense.
I see that as being the problem.
So what's the solution there? Is it just, setting
I think
a schedule
the
to do it on your
solution
own?
will slowly come in. We already see different ways of logging in, whatever. We get messages to the phone. We got different things there. We got authenticators. We got password managers, whatever. The part of the problem, I think, is Steve Gibson always complains about it, if you're paying attention to the Twit TV, whatever, folks there. And new stuff has problems in it. You can't make something new, not in software anywhere, and have it just completely good. Not the way they do it these days. Maybe it's possible, but that's not how it goes. So when your Windows, let's say 10, is now running towards its end, 3 years left in it, it's pretty solid now. It's been fixed. It's been done. It's been whatever. Problems been cut out on it. We're concentrating on the next Windows, Windows 11. We've been working on that for a while. And at first it had a bunch of holes in it that you didn't have in 10 because of changes, whatever. And if we wouldn't have changed the Windows 10 and just keep running that for another 5 years and concentrate on really tying it up, we may have a lot less trouble. People get confused on things. For instance, what is Microsoft 365? Don't know, something new? No, it's Office. Why did they rename that?
Sure.
It's difficult enough to keep up with it. Your Windows changes, your stuff moves around a little bit. But now I want Office, the one that I install on the computer. Well, that one's slowly disappearing, even though too many people are asking for it, so we keep having that.
Well, because
it turned into...
That's what people know.
Yeah, it turned into Microsoft Office 365, the one that you pay every year for. Well, it has a lot of benefit because it's online and it's on your computer. You can get it from anywhere. You get a gigabyte of storage with OneDrive with it. All kinds of benefits. And slowly we get in the hang of it. More and more people are using it now. But now it's called Microsoft 365. So you would look for Office 365, what is now called Microsoft 365. Why is that? I don't understand. It just makes it more.
I'm guessing some
confusing.
marketing people thought it was a good idea. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, but from the user standpoint, it's a lot to take in. And unless you study this all the time, you're not keeping up with all this stuff. And why would you? But until you need to.
Well, you use your machine the way it's set up pretty much, and then get some updates and things, and maybe you need something new that you know about and get it, and then you need to upgrade. You know, you've been stretching it extra long. That thing has been going for 12 years with Windows 7 on it, and now you got a big step forward. What being online and more stuff online and having the Windows updated a different way solves that problem, because now, just like when you get the Office, now Microsoft 365, it updates itself slowly. So you don't get this big change from what you used 12 years ago to now. It just every week, month, whatever, it changes a little bit, and you be up with it.
Yeah.
So that benefit.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, there's some positives to it, and it's just, I think, for people like our age and people that are older that have grown up in a slightly different world where so it's hard for them to kind of but if you think about it, like you look at television, you know, as a kid, we grew up, you buy a TV, here's a TV, you plug in the TV, you turn on the TV, there's TV, you know. But as TV progressed, you're like, okay, now we got to wait a minute. Yeah, sure, that's great to plug it in if you want to get 2 channels, but now we're going to offer you hundreds of channels. Here, plug in with that, and cable or satellite or what. And now it's all like, guess what? You can get hundreds of channels, but you can get hundreds of channels that you want instead of just the hundreds of channels we give you. Oh, but here's a stick. Plug it in, and now you can have access to our free channels here. And so it's no different in other industries. We just see it in computers. And that, and you know what I mean? It's like, I think a lot of us just think, well, I should buy something, and there it is, and works. You know, it's even like gaming systems.
Yeah,
you know,
it used to be that way. Nothing, even your car. You know, somebody was debating the car. These new cars with all electronics in it, they're not cars anymore.
Yeah,
with a computer in it, they're computers on wheels.
Right.
So what does that mean? 5 to 10 years, they're obsolete. What we start seeing.
Well, and then things you got to subscribe to for your own car. It's like, I bought a car, it came with all this stuff, I get a car. It's like, I don't need to pay to get my windshield washer fluid refilled every time, you know?
Yeah.
But things like, so you got a map service in there? Well, guess what? The maps change, and we're going to charge you every few years to give you the new maps, you know? That's the world we live in now, and computers and everything. It's just, and I'm not saying, you know, I get what you're saying. It's like, hey, I paid for a product, I should get a product and the product work. I hear you. But when they're constantly evolving and changing to stay relevant and to keep, you know, it's either this or they're going to make you buy a new car every 5 years because you got to update the GPS.
It's maybe even worse than that.
Yeah.
Because the software gets updated from wherever it comes from, and you can bypass that no more. Certain things can be pushed to you that gets done with it. So on Sunday at the Twitch show, This Week in Tech, the one that was after the radio show. By the way, he doesn't do the radio show no more, Leo Laporte.
Yeah, he will at the end of the year. He's
they had the last show, I think.
Yeah, we've got.
But anyway, he still has his Twit.tv network and whatever. I can highly recommend it. $7 a month, and you can get access to everything. It's great. Get a lot of information from it. If you want to know what I know, go start watching it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were discussing on that Sunday show the cars that update and do whatever, and somebody piped up and said, what I really start worrying, Elon Musk is doing weird, and he can actually modify my car where it don't work, or if he don't like me. And it's like, that's true.
That's a scary thought.
You know, he throws people off of Twitter and lets them back on and whatever. He can make it where your car don't start if you have a Tesla.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, that's a really scary thought.
It is. It's a scary thought.
Not good.
I don't think a lot of people feel comfortable with that, including, myself here. But I just saw the time. We probably need to wrap this up here, especially if John needs to, because I'm sure there's always a couple people waiting, usually on Wednesday mornings by the time we get done today.
Supposedly somebody be here a little after 8 o'clock already, but it's a little cooler this morning. And worse tomorrow.
Well, hopefully. We'll get John out of here. That way, won't the guys stand out in the cold here. But if you have any questions about anything we talked about here, obviously, and of course, if you're looking to buy, computers, need help, you've got to resurrect something from the dead, John can help with all of that stuff. Give him a call. Probably call is the best if you have a question.
Seems to be the best. Old-fashioned, give a phone call.
Yeah.
If you leave a message, I'll try to call back.
Yes.
If depending on who it is, I see the number, I just missed it, I may call back. If you call later in the day when we're not open, whatever.
Sure.
And you don't leave a message, I may consider it not important enough, not call back, depending on what
leave
it is.
Leave a voicemail,
and he'll
leave
a voicemail, and I'll
to
try to get back with you.
Yeah. Give out that phone number.
575-625-9141.
Very good. And of course, his store hours are in the mornings.
Right. We're open from 8 till 12, Monday through Friday, on work days, regular days. And I try to leave no later than 12:30. I am working in the afternoon, of course. That's misunderstood a lot of times. I fix stuff in the afternoon.
Yeah, he's working on all those problems that came in the morning.
Right, exactly. That's how it's changed when you're now by yourself doing it.
Or if he has to go on a call, like for a network or something like that.
A lot of times if you call, you need something, and I'm not having my hands full or on a service call, I may let you in. The thing is, come to the back door this time, but because the front's closed up. But
sure.
I try to help if I can, especially if it's emergency of some kind.
Yeah, everyone's in.
I'm not gone after 12:30.
Right.
I'm still there.
You just don't. But please, and then of course, a lot of times in the mornings there, if it's something simple like you just need a power cycle or something works, he'll do it right there and go. But if it's something where he needs to kind of crack into the computer and take a look, that's when he'll hold it and work on it in the afternoon and then make arrangements.
Yeah, when you bring it in, try to have half an hour available, and half the time we fix it right there.
Yeah.
And the other half the time I need the half an hour to figure out what we want to do exactly, see what the problem is.
Absolutely. It's a great...
Right.
So come on by if you need to, and right behind the Wool Bowl there.
Right, 1703 North Garden. Not Atkinson.
No, I
right
keep
behind the
Atkinson.
Wool Bowl.
That's my dumb.
I've done it myself.
I'm just bad at directions. That's the problem.
Right.
So, well, John, if I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and happy holiday season here. And I guess we'll talk to you in 2023 in the future here.
We'll try it again next year.
See what a new year of technology brings us.
See what it does.
So thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll
thank all the customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. And you do good by your customers, and they stay loyal, and I know that's the deal. John's always fair and honest with folks, and really, if there's a better way that actually costs John money for you, he will tell you. And that's that's kind of something that not all business owners do. It's like, well, wait a minute, I have a cheaper way, but that's going to cost me money. No, John's going to give you the options that are best for you, even if he doesn't make the sale all the time. I believe if I treat
you right, you'll be back.
Even if he doesn't make the sale there. So,
right.
Good deal. Well, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
7:52. Let's pause for news, and Kim Commando on a quick break. Chaves County sports update as well. Don't go away.
Now for providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Hey, if you signed up for health insurance, then you know how great it is to be able to see a doctor, get medications, and know that your health is completely covered. Well, now's the time to re-enroll, switch coverage, or even switch insurance carriers if you'd like, because now health insurance is more affordable than ever. Be sure you're receiving the level of coverage and savings you deserve. Visit BeWellNM.com today to re-enroll and to see how much more you can save.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
KSVPTV.com is your home for holiday basketball. Coming up Tuesday, December 27th through Thursday, December 29th, it's coverage of the Pocorn Invitational Basketball Tournament and the Goddard Girls Holiday Basketball Tournaments. Catch every game from every gym, Roswell High and Goddard High, Tuesday through Thursday. The Pocorn Tournament and the Goddard Girls Holiday Classic. Follow all the games at KSVPTV.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:55. Got a few minutes here before the top of the hour. I was looking through the Twitters, looking mostly at garbage, but a couple things I saw that made me piqued my curiosity here. I was, of course, football fans, if you've not heard this morning, the Denver Broncos have fired their head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, after the Broncos' latest football game over the weekend there, and saw the Rams just eviscerated them, and they fired their head coach. For those following at home have known that the Denver Broncos this past offseason went out and spent a ton of cash to lock down Russell Wilson to be their quarterback. And Russell Wilson has been anything but spectacular this season. He's gone from just downright bad. And the head coach got fired over this morning here. And I can't quote him on the radio direct, but I can give you the gist of his message. When he was asked, after being fired by the Broncos, he was quoted as saying, "What the blank was I meant to do? It's hard to coach a guy who has more bathrooms in his house than touchdowns on the year." And he ain't wrong. Now, is it his fault or is it Russell Wilson's? That's where the argument starts. However, I'm not going to lie. I was scrolling just past. I saw that statement from the former head coach of the Denver Broncos. When I scroll to this little bit that makes, and this is, I don't know if this has ever happened, but over the weekend, the Rams played the Broncos, and the Rams just whooped their butt. But so on. During the game, Russell Wilson threw a pass that ended up going out of bounds. I'm assuming he was throwing it away to avoid a sack. And when he threw the pass out of bounds, the pass hit the Rams kicker, Matt Gay, in the leg. And they show the clip where they see the pass and you see the football pop the kicker who's sitting on the bench right in his leg. I'm assuming it's his kicking leg. It's his right leg. And now he's been placed on injured reserve. The kicker for the Rams got placed on injured reserve because he was sitting on the bench when a football thrown by Russell Wilson hit him in the leg. I know I'm not supposed to be laughing, but come on.
Come on, man. Yeah, explain that one. I mean, you're the kicker. So it's kind of, no one's going to listen to your war wounds anyway because you're the kicker. And then you ended up getting knocked out, not for the rest of the season, on IR. You know, I don't think the Rams are going to make the playoffs. Their record's not that good either. They stink too. But man, he's out for the rest of the year because he got hit in the leg with a football from, I'm guessing, 30 yards away, 20 yards maybe. I don't know. And, I mean, maybe that's an impressive throw by Russell Wilson. He got some, but I don't know. It's just, it just seems like when it rains, it pours. Now, granted, this doesn't affect the Broncos. This affects the Rams. But, you know, Russell Wilson took a guy out on the bench. The kicker. I'm sorry, that's funny. But Denver's a hot mess. I don't think John Elway and all that is the legends. You know, John Elway, the quarterback, amazing. John Elway, the GM, doesn't look like it's doing so well there. So, or whatever his official title is with the Broncos now, I don't know. But anyway, I just, you know, it's bad enough the coach gets fired. And granted, I don't know what's going on with the coach. I mean, there's, you know, it does look bad that the real reason we see the Broncos are so bad are mostly because of Russell Wilson. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, someone's got to be the fall guy, and they paid a lot of money to Russell Wilson. They just can't get rid of him. So there you go. All right, it's closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden has signed a disaster declaration for western New York State, reeling in the wake of a powerful winter storm that knocked out power and made travel impossible. 4 feet of snow fell at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, not scheduled to reopen until late tomorrow morning. The monster storm left more than 30 people dead.
Some in homes, others in cars stuck in the snow, and Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown says some on the street.
Who were trying to walk out during storm conditions got disoriented and passed away out in the street.
Officials are warning stay off the roads unless it's an emergency.
Correspondent Julie Walker. The storm delivered a knockout punch to Southwest Airlines, and now the Department of Transportation plans to take a closer look at its cancellation of thousands of flights.
The cancellations have left travelers stranded at airports across the country amid an intense winter storm that's killed dozens of people. Many airlines were forced to cancel flights due to the weather, but Southwest was by far the most affected. According to the tracking website FlightAware, about 4,000 domestic U.S. flights were canceled Monday, with some 2,900 of those being Southwest's.
That's correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Liar, liar.
New York Republican Congressman-elect George Santos admitted Monday that he lied about his job experience and college education during his successful campaign for a seat in the U.S. House. The Queens resident had said that he attained a degree from Baruch College in New York, but the school said that couldn't be confirmed. On Monday, Santos acknowledged, quote, "I didn't graduate from any institution of higher learning. I'm embarrassed and sorry for having embellished my resume." Santos had also said he worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs, but neither company could find any records verifying that. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Wall Street back at work following the Christmas break, and right now the Dow is up 63 points, while the NASDAQ trading 93 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code SALEM. Use code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Japan is tightening border controls against COVID by requiring mandatory testing for all visitors from China.
Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida made the announcement days after the World Health Organization expressed their concern over a surge in cases in China. The rise in cases in China comes after the Chinese government largely abandoned its zero-COVID policy. Meanwhile, in Guangzhou Airport, authorities are dealing with a new influx of visitors as the Chinese government scrapped quarantine requirements for people arriving from abroad. The loosening of restrictions in China has caused concern in Japan, especially since information from China on infections is unclear. I'm Karen Chamas.
Thousands of Iranians attended today's state-organized funerals for 400 soldiers who died in the 1980s Iran-Iraq War. News and analysis at townhall.com. Researchers have identified two minerals never seen before on Earth.
They were found within a 15-ton meteorite that crashed to the ground in Somalia in 2020. The ninth largest meteorite ever found on Earth revealed the minerals in a 2.5-ounce sample taken and studied by scientists at the University of Alberta in Canada. The new minerals were named after the place the meteorite was found and the vice president of Arizona State University's Interplanetary Initiative, respectively. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Starting January 1st, many Americans will qualify for a tax credit up to $7,500 for buying an electric vehicle. The credit, part of changes enacted in the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, designed to spur EV sales. However, a complicated web of requirements, including where vehicles and batteries must be manufactured in order to qualify, casting doubt on whether anyone can receive the full credit next year. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Yernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Official normal day of the week sort of thing between the holidays here. Start of the Pocorn and the Goddard Invitational Tournaments.
That's right.
They get underway today. If you, of course, get out to the gyms and root on the teams, they'll be playing all day.
Yep. Pocorn happening at the Roswell High School gym. The Goddard Holiday Bash is going to be happening at the Goddard gym.
Yeah. And then that'll be going on the next 3 days. And we'll have every single game of both tournaments available for you to watch at ksvptv.com. But, you know, I always want to say get out to the game, get out to the Pocorn, root the teams on. But tell your out-of-town friends and family or folks that can't make it out to either the Roswell Gym or Ground Zero and get out there and root on the teams. We will have announcers on the video for the local teams, Roswell Goddard.
Roswell Goddard games will be announced.
The others will be announcer-less, but you can watch them all there. So spread the word. Tell if you got friends that are, you know, have teams in the tournament and they want to watch at home there, they can go to ksvptv.com and watch every single game there over the next 3 days. Roy and Tanner will be working hard to get all those games to you, and their guys getting all those to you over the next couple days. So
that's right.
Enjoy. Yeah. Also, don't forget, we got a bowl game on the radio tomorrow for you on our sister station, KSVP the Texas Bowl.
That's right.
Your Red Raider fans. They play.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, is that 6? What time's that game start?
I believe the game starts at 5:30 with pregame. I believe.
Okay, because I was thinking the kickoff was at 6.
I have to check for sure,
but I want
to say it's at 5:30.
Yeah, I think you're right. But so we got stuff aplenty for you during the holiday week if you're looking for things to check out and cool stuff to see while you're at home doing stuff or trying to get away from your relatives or whatever you're trying to do at this point. You're done tired of looking at them, because there's always a few that they're like, we're going to stay with you all week.
We're going to stick around through New Year's.
Yay! And that sounds delightful for a minute, but around now, you're like, all right.
I'm very self-conscious of that because, having children, specifically having children that a child who complains a lot, I'm very self-conscious of it. I've way overstayed my welcome. We're going to a Holiday Inn tonight, kids.
You done ticked off everybody. Right. But, kids have more leeway than adults do when it comes to that
That's
kind
true.
of thing. Because they're kids, and most people will chalk it up as kids for a while.
Right, but when your relatives go from, oh, no, it's no big deal to, maybe, that's when you know.
There's less patience.
There's a whole lot less patience.
A few days later. But that's the beauty of grandparents. Because they get to do all their thing and then send them home. That's kind of the move,
I've actually said that out loud this weekend. It's like, how come you guys didn't love us this much?
Because
grandparents, they spoiled the bejesus out of grandkids. Especially around Christmas time, stuff like that.
And when your kids have kids, you're going to be that person that's going to give them fudge and do all the things they're not supposed to. And your kids are going to yell at you like, why weren't you this nice to me? And I'm like, because you were evil.
And meanwhile, remember that my mom once said, you remember that pack of gum I got you that one time? That was for Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. That same woman showered my children with presents.
Oh, yeah.
What?
What
just happened?
Well, and also, generally speaking, not always the case, but generally speaking, grandparents are more affluent than parents.
That's true.
By just by the nature of things, by the time you get of age to be grandparents, you're a little more established, and you're not necessarily, working paycheck. I mean, that's not always the case, and I get all that. But general rule of thumb is grandparents have more disposable income than parents do, and they usually spend it on things that the parents don't want to spend on the grandkids.
Yep.
Either A, because of money, or B, because insert annoying thing it does here.
Oh, yeah.
And they end up buying it for them. I do the same thing to my brother. I haven't done it in a year, but I remember when his kids were young. All I said was, I want the noisiest, most annoying toys possible to buy his kids, just to annoy the crap out of my brother.
That's effective, too. It's highly effective.
It's like, oh, look, a piano. Oh, look, a guitar. Oh, look, this thing flies around the room and bumps into stuff. Yeah, they're going to love this.
My son got a toy this Christmas that it's very incongruous by like what it is. It makes no sense, but he loves it. It is a dino party truck. It's a dinosaur. It's a truck. Like
it's a truck with a party of dinosaurs in it?
It's a semi-truck, and it's got little dinosaur figures and the head of a stegosaurus on the front of the truck. And then it lights up and plays like party music.
Nice.
When you push buttons. Yeah, it's great. For about 5 minutes. It's great.
I feel like the creators of this toy were like, all right, it's not annoying enough. What can we add to make it annoying? I know, we'll make it a party bus.
Yeah.
And we'll put music.
A dinosaur hauling semi-truck. That already makes no sense.
Right.
Now it lights up and plays music because it's a party truck. What?
You ever design toys on Wii?
Oh, Wii.
Yeah, I feel like that's what that is.
Kimmy, you ever played with a dinosaur disco truck?
Although we had dumb toys when we were kids.
That's true.
There was a cornucopia of dumb toys out there.
In fairness, though, the electronics weren't as good when we were kids, so they weren't as loud and annoying. We just had loud cymbal monkeys and stuff. Those were annoying enough.
I would argue that yes, they were, because the speaker quality wasn't as good. So the music or whatever noise they made had a much more tinny sound to it.
That's true.
So it kind of,
like you look at Speak and Spell.
Yeah, everything that had a ripcord, you want to punch it in the face by about 2 days after you owning that thing, with the exception of one toy. the Jimmy J.J. Walker plush wind-up toy that I had. I had as a kid a plush toy that was about 2 feet tall of Jimmy J.J. Walker, and it was a stuffing guy, and it had a little voice box in the middle of it, and a cord you pulled, and you would get a delightful quote from Jimmy J.J. Walker every time.
I want to make fun, but I literally had a pull string Steve Urkel plush.
There you go.
So I want to make
you
fun.
Had the next generation.
But I had the, did I do that? Yep.
Wow. Mine was pull the string and ain't nothing in it right. This kid's dynamite. That's what mine did. At least I think that's what he said. I can't ever really fully understand what he said at the beginning there. Something ain't nothing ain't right. This kid is dynamite.
It's great because those toys get old and the record inside stops working as well, and then they just start sounding like a demon from the ninth dimension.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I'm one of the few kids that had a toy from the TV show Good Times.
The official Good Times merch.
Good Times. That's right. And that's only because they didn't have enough merch for What's Happening. Like I think you could get like the rerun hat. And maybe like a rerun mixtape or something.
How to do the dance.
Yeah.
Left hand, right hand, shoulder pop, jump. You met
Rerun?
Rerun?
Yeah, because Rerun...
Fred Berry, right?
He's no longer with us. He's passed.
Yeah.
But when he was alive, after What's Happening, he was a devout Christian, and he did a ministry show, right?
To youth groups. And my youth group, we lived in East Texas, and we went to Terrell to see what he had to say.
And Rerun
That's pretty cool.
Came to your school and did a show?
Did you do the dance?
The church.
Oh, the church.
Did you do the dance, though?
Get up,
get on up, get up, get on up.
I think he did, yeah, because that's kind of his memo.
And I want to say his like history is dancing and singing, and like the acting thing was like a second thing. Like he was a singer, actor, pastor, preacher type. I think that was kind of his one. That's his one seed. The What's Happening thing was kind of a ancillary deal from.
But you just triggered something in my head. Do you remember the Power Team?
I have seen versions of it and know. And maybe if it's not the exact Power Team, it's some knockoff version of it. But
I'm sure there's like 16 of them.
It's like a Christian American Gladiators.
Yep. They came to one of our churches when I was a kid, and it's these big, huge, burly, like muscle bound dudes, and they're wearing like singlets, and they like rip phone books in half, and they take like one of the craziest thing I saw was it was a hot water bottle, you know, those like the rubber ones, and he blew it up until it exploded. There's that. There's one where a guy lays on a bed of nails and like lifts weights. It has like things like all of these things, these like feats of strength in a church, and it was all like to show that the power of Jesus overcomes all of it.
It's a church freak show is what it was.
Exactly is what it was. I was fascinated by the Power Team.
I remember they had those. They had different versions. I want to say there was a lot of offshoots, like a rock and roller skating version.
Right.
Some kind of puppet deal. There was like a half dozen different.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those
that would roll through.
I'm curious if that's still a thing.
I would imagine yes. I imagine it's a little more high techy now.
In May 2000, original Power Team leader John Jacobs divorced his wife Ruth Ann. This was followed by numerous members leaving the Power Team to form a new ministry called Team Impact. In 2002, the Power Team filed for bankruptcy protection. The Power Team 2.0 is currently in operation.
Nice.
There you go.
Do you watch the mighty, the righteous Gemstones?
I haven't yet. Everybody's telling me I need to.
Oh, it's amazing. But see, the more recent season, they get into a lot of that power stuff and all that. It's funny. It's so funny. I love that show. It's so it really does a good job of putting out like the joke Christian televangelist thing. Like I know there's people listening. They love this stuff. They devoutly and you do your thing. God bless you. I don't see it that same way, but I think they do a good job of mocking and making fun of these exploitative religious people.
And I feel like that's right up my alley too, because I was raised in Like, I was raised Southern Baptist. Every summer we went to this place called Falls Creek in Oklahoma. It was this big, biblical summer camp. And I remember every day at around 3 o'clock, it was time to go to Tabernacle. Tabernacle was this big pavilion. It was like a gazebo. It was just covered. All the walls were open. And just every kid in the camp from like the Marshall County, all the different counties in Oklahoma would gather together, and it would just be a big worship session thing. But every day at 3 o'clock, it was Tabernacle time. Okay. So I feel like that's like Righteous Gemstones is like right up my alley. Of like,
it's more, it's that Olstein Baker esque type deal, and it's to me it's funny, and because he's got the children, and they're the funny ones. John Goodman's the monarch, the father, but it's the family, the kids. Because they're all spoiled rich and they all act like 12-year-olds, but it's just funny. Kenny Powers is in there, who's the monarch of the children, whatever his name is.
Kenny Powers?
Yeah, I just keep calling him Kenny Powers.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, Danny McBride, thank you.
Patriarch.
Yeah, the patriarch of the kids. What did I say? Patriarch?
Monarch.
What did I say?
Monarch.
Oh, Monarch. Similar.
Same, royal monotone or a tone to it all there. But anyway.
Similar vein.
Actually, I probably should get the interview playing. I just saw the time. So we're going to play our interview we had with Sheriff Mike Harrington Friday talking about just crimes and be careful out there and all that good stuff, even though it's after Christmas, but New Year's is right here, and he talks all about that stuff. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a stationary front over the area, so we may get some cloud cover through about midday, but sunshine this afternoon. Pretty mild. Our high will be in the low to mid 60s. A little bit of lingering cloud cover overnight with upper 30s and low 40s. Some sun and some clouds, and getting windy on Wednesday. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Fair and cooler Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds calm at the moment. Pretty nice day today. Enjoy it. Sunny skies. Highs expected to reach 65 today with winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 36 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. For you Wednesday, we are looking at warm temperatures but windy. Mostly cloudy and 65, but winds will be out of the southwest early, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 25 miles per hour. Wednesday night, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 36. Winds out of the southwest, 15 to 20. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tomorrow night. Thursday, most partly cloudy and highs near 60, 59 officially with west winds at around 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy, highs once again back near 60 degrees. And then for your New Year's weekend, New Year's Eve, Saturday, expect mostly sunny skies, highs around 64. Rain chances for New Year's Day. We're looking at a 20% chance of rain New Year's Day Sunday, mostly cloudy 62. Chance rain bumps up to 40% for Sunday night. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get some moisture here for New Year's Day. I'll take it. We can always use the moisture. All right, it is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll play our interview with Sheriff Mike Harrington. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Let the countdown begin. In 2022 on a high note at Big O's year-end sale. Head to Big O for our best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more from December 12th through January 8th. And right now, get a $70 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission on a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Plus, get an additional $70 prepaid MasterCard on installation purchase of sets of 4 Michelin passenger or light truck tires. No resolutions here. Just giant deals to get your car ready for the new year. But hurry, you only have a few days left to save. Go big at Big O during our incredible year-end sale, December 12th through January 8th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra, required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer.
Eastern New Mexico University in Portales is proud to offer potential students the opportunity to attend ENMU tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. And now we are proud to announce the newly created Freshman Hound Housing Room Grant, which will allow students the opportunity to receive up to $3,000 per year off their housing costs when living on the ENMU campus. For more information on how ENMU is making higher education more affordable for you and your family members, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
The best burrito in the game just got a brand new location. Burritos and More, now open at 2506 North Main, across from Goodwill in Roswell. So what makes Burritos and More the best burrito in the game? It's simple. The freshest ingredients, homemade tortillas, and a huge menu chock full of all your breakfast and lunch favorites. Plus, enchiladas, fajitas, quesadillas, combo platters, and so much more. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 to 2 at 127 South Richardson and at their brand new location, 2506 North Main, across from Goodwill in Roswell. Burritos and More, the best burrito in the game.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 34 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Harrington and Under Sheriff Charles Eastlis back with us. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Cold. Good. Yeah.
Doing good and cold.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
and
Christmas
the
early.
entire Sheriff Department staff there. I know they are going to be on their toes, keep working here, especially now that we've added another wrinkle of some colder weather here. That, and people.
As long as it's dry. I'm hoping that keeps people in.
I know. Unfortunately, people are going Christmas traveling, and good news is we're not too bad here in this county, but parts north is not so much. So be careful.
Yeah, if you get to where it's wet at all, it's going to be slick, and there's going to be cars off the road everywhere. And what we know, and you've seen it here just in the recent past, is nobody slows down.
No, you're right.
They just continue on. So a 1-car crash can become a 3 or 4 car crash pretty easy in icy weather.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's it doesn't matter how many wheel drive you got; they all will slide on ice.
They sure do. So I told them, if there's no traction, it don't matter what you got going. Yeah, you're gonna go for a ride. You'll be able to pull yourself out of the ditch, maybe, but if you're lucky.
And let's face it, we don't get a lot of snowy weather driving.
That's right.
Around here, which means a lot of people don't have the experience unless they come from other parts of the country. So we have a lot of drivers that are inexperienced when it comes to inclement weather.
Well, it's amazing how many people, when we do get some weather, all of a sudden they need to go somewhere.
Right.
They didn't need to go anywhere until.
I think that's just a mental.
Then they goes into panic mode.
But you know what's
we better go get
crazy
milk.
is
told you can't do something. The first thing we do is do it. Yeah.
we know about blowing dirt, sandstorms, and people still drive like crazy through a sandstorm and hit the cars in front of them or get hit from behind or.
Actually, one of the scariest moments in my years of driving happened in one of those little sandstorms. Because I've been to them before, but that one I never.
Brownout.
Yeah, it was. Matter of fact, it was right at the Eddy County, Chaves County line there, right where that dairy is.
Yes.
And when the wind hits, it's like a highway of dirt that shoots right through there sometimes. And I went there one time, and you couldn't see past the hood of your car. And I remember saying, "Oh, all right." So I just went the left lane and kept going. And what scared me was while we were driving, there was a car in the right lane stopped. Yes. And if I would have been in that right lane, I would have plowed right into them. Never saw them when those two.
Well, we had a unit get hit like that.
So for the love of God, do not stop in the middle of the road on one of those things. Get off the road if you're going to do that.
Oh yeah.
On the relief route between Brasher and McGaffey, every couple of months you're going to have it there, and then on 285 at the relief route, just where those open fields are, that dirt just keeps blowing. I don't know how there's any dirt left in those fields.
Right.
You know, it blew it all over to the neighbor. We should have a mountain over there.
I was going to say, I think we've got Arizona's dirt, and Texas got our dirt.
They got our water.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got those things, and a lot of people who come here, they're used to having that zero visibility from a blizzard.
Sure.
And we have it with dirt.
Right. It's true.
So it's
that's our blizzard.
We get brownout conditions, not white out conditions.
You get out, man.
Not quite as hot as cold, but it'll beat you to death.
Equally less enjoyable.
You get out looking like one of those Star Wars. You got to wrap up and have the goggles on, because man, you'll be covered in dirt.
It's like you just come from Tatooine.
Yeah. Our uniforms are with the black vest and the black shirts, and you come in, you're tan. You're like a light.
Everything's cream colored.
Yeah,
right.
Cream colored. Yeah.
Well, that might be like I was watching. It was one of the sheriff's departments in California, and I'm not one to get on uniforms and fashion here, but their uniforms, they weren't bad, but they went with the it was a gray or whatever but they went with this blue for their ties and for like their patches and stripes, and it's a very bright festive blue, and I was like, it's not a bad blue. It's just I'm not sure if it looks right on a police officer's uniform. It's
real loud.
Yeah, it was a little loud, and so that one might benefit from some brown dust.
Some brown dirt.
Blend them in a little bit more, because you can see them ties coming a mile away.
We had a little. He pulled a little prank, and when we went to the new shirts, he said, "Yeah, they're going to be brown with red pockets, and that way everyone can see us and everything." And I'm sitting here trying to picture it, shaking my head. I said, "Hey,
like
an artillery officer in the Civil War."
And then I told him, I said, "Now we're allowed to wear our own clothes, right?"
So we. But I'll tell you what, when we went to these new uniforms, everyone's like, "Man, why'd you go to a black shirt from the light colored shirt?" Well, everything shows up on a light colored shirt.
Yeah.
So no matter if you're out dealing with something or if you are eating or whatever it may be, it ends up on that shirt.
Sure.
Right? So we went to the black shirts, and I'll tell you, it's been one of the best things. Plus,
how's the heat factor been on them?
It's easy. These things are so comfortable, so thin.
They actually keep you cooler in the summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really nice. And there's no issues with that. It's just like a farmer or a rancher who's out. They wear long sleeves all year.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my guys have gone to wearing long sleeves all year for the same reason, to keep that sun off of you.
Sure.
Because you'll have a nice tan on the arm closest to the window.
That farmer's tan or trucker's tan. Yeah.
And then this arm over here.
Matter of fact, catch me in the summer, you'll see one I got.
Yeah.
On one arm.
Goes right back here.
We've had a couple deputies who had retired and were diagnosed with like a skin cancer.
Just a lot of it sitting in the car, exposed to the sun all the time. And like I said, it's a lot better to go to the long sleeve. But like I said, we wear short sleeves also. But it does make a difference with the sun, the wind, the rain. It doesn't matter. Sure. Not to mention, like you said, you're dealing with stuff all the time, and obviously you guys, glove up and everything anytime you get on a scene, and that offers that much more protection against that kind of stuff too. It's just another layer of protection.
It's bite protection. It's a lot of different things.
Yeah. You guys have to be a jack of all trades when it comes to coming up on a scene. You don't know, you'd be dealing with somebody biting or someone spitting or someone doing something.
Or bees chasing you.
Yeah, and everything else. Yeah, to a hornet's nest.
I seen on TikTok yesterday, I was watching this gorilla, and he's down in the pen, and it's an up deal, and they're looking down at him, and he's got his water and everything. He's down there, and he's dancing. And all of a sudden, he just throws up a thing of poop, and it lands right on a lady in the stand. And I said, you know what? We've been there in this job where we've had that same kind of...
Look, they're dancing, and then there's poop in your face.
Look at that.
It's all fun and games when someone gets poop in their face.
I'd rather be spit on than that happen. I was thinking of that when I was watching that. I've seen that happen.
as far as obviously the cold and stuff, have you all been dealing with some service calls overnight of people dealing with heat issues or anything like that, or has everyone been pretty good?
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Good. Of course, tonight's gonna be the real cold night.
Probably, I think one of the big things right now is just water faucets popping.
Yeah, I imagine a few of those service calls and
you got big things like that. But other than that, for us, this keeps people at home, which increases domestic violence.
Sure.
So
and there's going to be alcohol flowing,
during the
marijuana
holidays,
flowing,
and you know what? And
more
you
so the
have
alcohol with the fighting.
Alcohol,
And so you have people who have off today or off on Monday, depending on which one they get
Or both.
for Christmas, or both.
Yeah.
So, and we love Christmas time, and we're all festive, and we like being a part of it. But man, our domestic violence calls just go out of the roof.
This is the worst time of the year for that stuff.
It really
is. It's
suicides.
Is this typically your busiest time of the year is during the holidays? As
Yes.
far as just
Between
call
Thanksgiving
ratio and stuff?
and
Is
a little
that?
after New Year's.
Thanksgiving
It's just and obviously with mental health and the holidays bring certain type of feelings to people. It is. So look out for each other. That's big. Keep an eye out. But like you said, let's especially with the weather being what it is, and of course it's going to be a little nicer during the actual Christmas weekend here. But
but to get there is going to be a little cold.
But please remember this stuff, and just it's and also understand too that for law enforcement, domestic violence situations are arguably the most dangerous calls that they make typically.
Yep, they really
because it really is. At least when you go to a shootout, you kind of know where everything's going and what's going on. At least you got an angle. With the domestic violence, you have no idea what you're walking in.
You don't know who the victim or the aggressor is.
Yeah.
And or if you do know, and you go to arrest the person that's the aggressor, sometimes the victim will jump on your back to protect them.
Yeah.
And it's just
don't treat them like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you just did.
Well, and with Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's more people are happy to see each other, but then they're ready for you to be gone.
Oh yeah.
They're in domestic violence.
We've missed you so much. Leave.
Comes up.
There's a reason why I haven't seen them since last Christmas.
There's a reason why National Lampoons came out with the Christmas Vacation, right?
I was sitting there,
Cousin Eddie.
I was sitting there watching the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory yesterday, and with the grandkids, and one of the things is that gobstopper. That's Christmas. You give one kid one extra present, or a family member an extra present,
and it's all downhill from there.
Gosh,
Yep.
it's bad.
You just open the floodgate.
Yeah, it goes bad, and we see all kinds of things. Just you get there and you're like, what's going on? It's got to be something bad, and it's something just so ridiculous. That,
to us, but to them,
it's serious.
To them, it's something
but to them, it's
serious.
real. He walked in my house without taking his shoes off.
Yeah.
Man, what?
The silliest thing.
But the reality of it is that's something. So that's what I teach, and just like he just said, that's what I teach all my deputies. Every call you go on, you have to take it as though it is serious, because to them it is.
Absolutely.
And
You're
so
right.
when you get there, but you're just thinking when you leave, sometimes you're like, man, they were fighting over that on Christmas.
And that's half the battle that law enforcement faces. It's not to arrest people; it's just to say, okay,
just to keep the peace.
Remember, guys, you're arguing over pie here. Is it really worth all this? Can we all just calm down?
Yeah. Can you just
get through the night here?
They're leaving tomorrow.
And we actually had a call where they were arguing over he didn't take his boots off when he came in and tracked all this mud, and there we are standing in the house looking at each other like this. Ooh.
We all got our boots on.
We've got we're about to get jumped. We're about to get jumped here.
But yeah,
see some rolling pins.
We have to fight our way out of here.
But it's
very
crazy
true,
time.
though.
Emotions run high.
Sure.
You have people who have
and sadness.
It's sadness,
And that's just it too. It's all these arguments aren't about the pie. They're not about the shoes. It's about the underlying issues of mental health, and
or they haven't
it's
seen
about
each other
cousin
in a
Eddie
year.
not doing something 20 years ago.
Yeah, they haven't seen each other in a year, and they've been waiting for that time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get a few drinks in them, and they say, last February,
the airing of the grievances begin.
10 months ago, exactly.
They start combining their Festivus things with the other.
And then the swinging starts.
That's right.
Yeah, the question why now always seems to be the leading factor. They're like, well, I came to your house for Christmas. Well, why now?
Yeah.
All right, I got you something for
It's the only
Christmas.
time I
Why
see
now?
you.
Yeah.
Why is it changed now? And rather than accepting the change, they're mad about that it hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and then you guys walk right in the middle of that,
Yeah, we
and
walk
you're
in the
just like,
middle and-
and you're just like, we're
Yeah.
dealing with 10
They
years
never
of
come to
pent-up
visit. Well, they're
feelings.
here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I like that Dallas Cowboys play on Thanksgiving, because I can walk in a house and just start talking garbage about the Cowboys, and it turns all the direction away from each other and towards us.
So they either agree with you or defend the Cowboys.
That's right.
Usually they want to now.
I'm like,
They
what is
redirect
going on? Yeah,
It's
so-
deflection.
Yeah.
It deflects
Yeah.
all the anger towards us.
So that's why I said everyone's like, man, I wish they would change the teams that play on Thanksgiving. Oh no, not me. Because when we go into a house, I'm
That's an
like
icebreaker.
It is really. I'm like, oh my gosh, who's watching the Cowboy, or whatever?
Unless
Why?
you're a Giants fan like me, and then this
Yeah.
last Thanksgiving, I was like this. Well,
Yeah.
well.
As a Washington fan, I've had those years myself.
Yeah.
And every year's
But-
one of those at some point.
But we're able to use things like that to change direction for a short period of time, and
Deflect
that,
the
that
anger.
helps. Yeah. So, but it's good, and I'll tell you right now, one of the things, and you've seen this here in Chaves County, every single holiday that we have, the community just steps up.
Yeah.
We have had people coming in and giving
it's
us
amazing.
Toy donations. And
I've
things
seen a
like
lot
that.
online.
And-
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
donations,
so we've
pictures.
Been,
It's
yeah,
amazing,
so we've been
yeah.
giving those out, and people ask, "Oh, are you going to set up somewhere and give them out?" No, we give them out as we go.
Yeah,
So-
that's the icebreakers for a lot of
it is.
these domestic violence
It really
calls
is.
and things because 9 times out of 10 there's kids involved or
Yes.
there not
Yeah.
involved, but
Yeah.
they don't know what's going on, and so these toys, these things that you guys donate, all that goes to those kids during those times
Yeah.
to kind of de-escalate for them while the officers deal with the adults and get the situation handled.
Yeah.
We are
And the
so,
kids are right in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are so blessed here in Chaves County and all of southeastern New Mexico. I'm seeing it in Eddy County and Lee County and also in Lincoln County that people are just continuously coming in and giving stuff and
you guys give it out to everybody. Like
give it to
you see the
everybody.
homeless on the
Oh, yeah.
streets and things like,
Yeah.
hey, you need some food. Hey, they donated
Yeah.
some stuff. Here's
Yeah.
some water. Here's
So
some food.
And that's the big thing. Water.
Yeah.
Believe it
Yeah.
or not, when it's cold, people think, "Oh, well, what are you giving them water for?" Dehydration.
Yeah.
It occurs in the winter.
Your body's made up mostly of it. You
That's right.
need it.
And so when someone comes to bring us like food, we'll tell them if they're wanting to have that as a donation, we'll tell them give that to St. Peter's Church or
To the
give
kitchens.
it to Enrique with the disaster relief.
Yeah.
Doing
Roswell
a great
Refuge
job.
is a good place,
Roswell
too.
Refuge is
Yeah.
a good one. Even like I said, CASA and
Yeah.
CYFD.
Homeless Coalition. any of
They
these.
know families that may need that kind of stuff, and but for us, we really do reach out and we listen and see where people are coming from. We can't get you everything, but we might be able to point you in the right
That's
direction.
generally what it is. It's like, okay, if I don't have it directly
Yeah.
on my person,
Yeah.
then let's
But maybe
let's
make
make
a
a
few
call.
calls.
Let's see if
Yeah.
we can get someone in it. We'll get you a bed here, or we'll
Right.
find someone that can take you in, or here's an organization that helps people. Maybe they can get you a hotel room for the night. Whatever it is, you guys are kind of that conduit. When if you can't directly put them in that position, hey, can I give you a ride to a relative's house or something
right.
like that? Then you put them in touch with the organizations that kind of can go in and do some deeper help with these folks.
Right.
Yeah. So we're busy with that. The churches have been great. I go to church on the move, and one of the things like this whole weekend, starting tonight, tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, and then on Sunday morning at 8:00, they're doing a show where it's kind of like a Christmas show.
Yeah.
And gets everybody something to go do and get you out of the house for
And
a little while.
based on all of the stuff they do in the past, they go over the top with
Yes, they-
really fun and
they
entertaining.
really do.
Getting
They really do.
Kids and the whole family's
And-
involved.
And the other churches are doing the same thing here, and so really does help out, and we're glad to be a part of that.
The one thing I've noticed has slowed down this year, and that's just because Christmas is on a Sunday, is we're not having as many midnight masses. I've noticed this year because everyone will be going to church normal time Sunday
Right.
because it's normally Sunday and Christmas.
So-
Versus midnight on a Sunday night.
Yeah, so I think there's a one or two that are doing it, but not like where it's every church would have a.
So
it's a
like
little different this year.
like us at Church on the Move, we're doing 8 o'clock. And the reason you do 8 o'clock is that way you can get home, have Christmas dinner. But, the biggest thing is you got to have Jesus on Christmas Day.
Well, that's the whole reason we're celebrating Christmas.
So we're glad that the churches are accommodating times, but, we'd go if it was a regular time.
Sure.
But it's one of those things that for us is to go there and, be able to be blessed and thankful and everything that we are, and then go and spend time with the family. Might have a better attitude by the time that time comes, So
absolutely.
It'd be good. So it'd be good.
Absolutely.
It'll be good.
And maybe mitigate some of the stuff that you guys have to come and take care of later that day or the day before,
Usually the evening of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of things happen this year where people have lost individuals and in their family, and we've all been in that realm, and it's always good to be able to see family outside of the dinner after the funeral.
Sure.
So when you can do it during a festive time, I think it's better, even though some of it is closer to Christmas time and you're still grieving and everything. But and we just had my Janet, my sheriff's administrator, she lost her sister here just recently, and one of the things I told her is you gotta get back into this, and your family's really counting on you for Christmas, and you're gonna have to get that out, get that.
Your sister would want you to live your life and do your thing, and not weigh down with her grief and loss. She would want you to serve the family, to keep doing your thing.
And so that's exactly right, and that's one of the things that we're trying to tell the people that we're dealing with during their times of depression and other things that we're dealing with is, you have to somehow get back on the track of living life.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to live life, and you can grieve and you can do everything, but you have to get back to living life and
well, it's just human nature.
Yeah.
Idle hands is the
Oh,
devil's
you're
workshop.
darn right.
It just is. Your
Get out
brain
of
starts
that bed.
stirring, it starts thinking, and you start over-analyzing things, and next thing you know,
Mind
things
is the most powerful thing you have.
overhyped or overinflated or over-analyzed the situation, and then it went from something that you're sad about to now that's consumed you into nothing else.
Spiral.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is go lay down.
Yeah.
When you go lay down and you get in that bed, you don't get out of that bed, and you're completely, and we're seeing this, the depression just sinks in even more. And that's what scares me about this time of year. People think, I don't have any family, I don't have this, I don't have that. You got to be a blessing to others.
Sure.
You don't need to have anything. You need to get out there and be a blessing to others yourself, and but you got to get out of that bed.
Well, and
get up.
make it, people, this is why giving is what heals people. When you go and do work to others, serve others, make other people feel better, that tends to kind of rub off on you and give you self-worth and self-value and appreciative. It's when you do something nice for someone and they are very appreciative of them, that makes you feel good. And that's the kind of stuff that heals you. That kind of helps those wounds scar over a little bit.
And if you have a neighbor or somebody that especially close to where you live, and they don't have any family, stop by, drop them something off. It's the littlest things that mean a lot.
Absolutely.
It's just those little. It's amazing, when you have a neighbor that just doesn't have anybody anymore because they've reached an age where they've outlived everybody. And you stop by and you drop them something off, and and then they invite you in, and it becomes a whole conversation that it just perks them up.
Random acts of kindness are probably some of the most, and this is my opinion, I think the strongest blessings you can, because let's face it, we do things for people we love, and we do it, and one could argue. You love them. There is a selfish reason for that. And so I'm not saying it, I'm just saying, but one can make that argument where if you're just doing something nice for a neighbor, someone you barely know or don't know at all, and you're doing it just because you want to, that's unconditional love. That's just being and so it in some circles, in many circles, it's such a more powerful gesture. Yeah. You kind of expect your loved ones to look out for you because that's your loved ones, and that's what you do.
Instead of buying me a gift, spend some time with me.
Yeah.
Slow down. Don't text.
Yeah.
Talk.
Exactly.
Visit.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
That goes to being a servant, and that's one of the things that I tell the deputies here at the sheriff's office. In law enforcement, we're servants. And our main job is to go out there and serve this community. Protecting, like I've always said, we're just going to be there.
Yeah.
These guys, they're ready to do that.
Sure.
To serve you have to be taught that and also really want to do that.
Sure.
And so for us, that's one of the things that we're working on. And you talk about a job that the word thank you doesn't come often.
You're right.
You can go out there, you can do things. But we don't do it for the thank yous. We do it because we're a servant.
Sure.
And so as we go out there and we're doing what we do, you see the results of what you've done. That's the thank you.
Sure.
You don't have to be told that or get the pat on the back or any of that stuff. And that's one of the things that we talk about with our new hires that we bring on.
Plant the seed in the community.
If you're looking at being patted on the back and thanked and everything else, you're in the wrong job.
This is the wrong job for
You're
you.
in the wrong job. But if you're willing to be a servant and go out and do things for people that you don't know, this is the job for you.
Well, and
that's important.
And the rewards will come.
Oh, they will.
Sure. And we have a great community. All the time I see people buying lunches, meals, and
there's no
law
doubt.
enforcement. We have a great community. But you're right. If you're thinking I want to be a cop because so people give me free stuff, then you probably aren't going to be a very good cop. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
and I will tell you, the people of this community are fantastic. You can look at this Billy right here. They bring
us a little bit out of the zone.
But I will tell you this: they bring us. They bring us stuff, and they bring us food, and we are taken very good care of, and so
absolutely.
But I will say that when you get used to the good, and then there is a comment that is not good, it can knock you to your knees.
Absolutely.
So we have to tell people, hey, in the reality of things, we are blessed in our community.
Yep.
But in the reality of things, and if you look across this country, the rest of them aren't experiencing that.
Yeah,
the
that's
police are being kicked
back
around.
east.
We are.
And,
you're right.
So we are truly blessed, and unless you've experienced or seen that firsthand, you really don't know how good you have it.
Yep, you're right.
So that's one thing I can say. We have it very well.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Well, we're out of time. It's 9:00, and I'd like to keep going, and I want to keep talking.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much. Tell every deputy and their families we thank them for their service to our community, and
absolutely
keep them. God bless them. Keep them all safe, and we the public appreciate them, and I know they don't always see it.
Well,
but we do.
During this holiday time, we want to stress again to everybody to be safe, watch your driving, use defensive driving, watch your surroundings. Don't fall for the scams. Remember your debit card.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't leave it on the counter.
Just because the weather's bad doesn't mean they're not going to be out looking for impaired driving.
Lock your vehicles and do not leave them running with the door unlocked.
And don't text and drive.
And don't text and drive.
That's right.
Or drink and drive.
Yeah, or drink and drive. I mean, but we're almost at the point where the texting and driving's a bigger problem
It really
than
is.
drinking and driving.
It's amazing. They'll pass you texting.
It has actually become even more dangerous than
Number one.
because
it's
the
more people
one.
doing it, and most people think I'll just do it for a second, and guess what?
Everybody
That's
has a
when you
phone.
wrap your car around something like that. Yeah,
that is right. So,
well, Merry Christmas,
Merry
gentlemen.
Christmas.
Thank you guys.
Merry Christmas to Chavez County.
And we'll see you here in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
All right.
We shall
Hopefully
see you.
with happy stories.
See you in the
Yes, we'll be
see you
ready.
next year.
That's right. We'll see you in the new year, in the future.
that's right. And
They're going to have their hover cop cars coming in.
Not quite that far.
But
Be nice.
It would be cool, though. You know.
But
It'd be
don't worry
great
about the
parades.
ice, right?
Yeah, it'd be great parade.
But we will be out in numbers, and then come New Year's Eve, we're going to be out there in numbers again.
Oh, yeah.
So just so people know, starting tonight, we'll have deputies out, more deputies out. We're going to have people out tomorrow. Really with the weather and everything else, we're
Just
doing a lot.
making
of
sure
things,
everyone's in good shape out
Right.
there, keeping everybody safe. Out there.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Little McDonald's in there if you want to grab
All
before you
right.
go.
Just the coffee.
Yeah. By the way, I tried their holiday pie. If your next shift you all get middle light, need something warm, hit you up one of the McDonald's holiday pies.
That's gonna be good.
Pretty good.
We need to buy
Bad for your business,
Yeah,
but it warms the cockles
Well,
of your heart.
and then it probably disappears after the holiday, And, then you're jonesing for it.
Exactly. Around February, you're like, give me some holiday pie.
Yeah.
The guy that's buying a case and freezing them.
It's like one of your crackheads that come out. Oh, man. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It is 9:02. Let's get you into town.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us this hour. Our top story, forecasters were calling for a slight warm-up in southeast New Mexico before the next storm system arrives on Wednesday. Today's high, under mostly sunny skies, was expected to top 66 degrees, but then tomorrow it's going to turn very windy again. Blowing dust is even possible, and the skies will turn mostly cloudy on Wednesday. Winds could gust in excess of 40 miles per hour beginning tomorrow. Authorities have released the name of a man who died last week in a crash on Highway 62, 180, near Carlsbad. The crash Wednesday afternoon left 45-year-old Earl Burton dead. State police responded and found that Burton's car was headed east in the wrong lanes, the westbound side. He collided head-on with a Chevy pickup truck. Burton died at the scene while the driver of the pickup was treated for only minor injuries. Police reports also indicate alcohol was likely a factor in the crash. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I mean, what are you going to do if the FBI is having weekly conversations with you and your company beyond the alert? They're going to have foreign countries going to try to influence our election, and they're called hack and leak operations, and they might even try to do it to Hunter Biden. And then a Hunter Biden story comes out. And now you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to listen to the FBI? See the level of intimidation there? You know, if Twitter does one team's bidding before an election and they shut down dissenting voices on a pivotal election, that is the definition of election interference. And Twitter was acting like an arm of the Democratic National Committee. That's Elon Musk's own words.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, do you want to improve your shooting? Of course you do. Now, you're going to love Mantis X. Now, they have improved my shooting dramatically. It is a must-have for every responsible gun owner. Now, the Mantis X is a high-tech but simple-to-use system used extensively, by the way, by the military, and it improves your shooting quickly and will give you the confidence in your ability to protect what you love. Now, here's how it works. You attach the Mantis X to your firearm. You connect with an app on your smartphone or tablet or Bluetooth. It gives instant feedback on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and how to correct your technique. Now, the Mantis X is like a firearms instructor right in your pocket, and 94% of shooters improve within 20 minutes using Mantis X. And Mantis X is the best way to train at home. No driving to the range, no spending money on range fees and ammo. You're going to save a ton of money and improve your shooting. So start improving today. Just go to mantisx.com. That's MANTISX.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a stationary front over the area, so we may get some cloud cover through about midday, but sunshine this afternoon. Pretty mild. Our high will be in the low to mid 60s. A little bit of lingering cloud cover overnight with upper 30s and low 40s. Some sun and some clouds, and getting windy on Wednesday. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and will stay in the low 60s. Fair and cooler Thursday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. A mostly lower open this morning for Wall Street, with traders returning from their Christmas break. Shares advanced in Europe and Asia after China announced it would relax more of its pandemic restrictions despite widespread outbreaks of COVID that are straining its medical infrastructure and disrupting economic activity. By at least one measure, holiday sales rose this year as American spending remained resilient during the crucial shopping season despite surging prices on everything from food to rent. Holiday sales rose 7.6%, according to MasterCard Spending Pulse, which tracks all kinds of payments, including cash and debit cards. Shares of Southwest Airlines have taken a hit, with the carrier suffering a weather-related meltdown, having canceled thousands of flights, and the U.S. Department of Transportation saying it will investigate. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
9 of 10 people with pre-diabetes don't even know they have it. Left untreated, diabetes can lead to other health complications including heart disease, stroke, and liver disease. Don't put off your care any longer. Artesia General Hospital's Diabetes Care Team can help you make a personalized plan to manage diabetes or pre-diabetes and reclaim your health. Learn more or request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/diabetes.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us at Roswell Nissan. This is Mikey Reeves, General Manager at Roswell Nissan. As we gather with friends and family and celebrate the season, we want to thank you, our friends and neighbors, folks in our community that trust the Roswell Nissan family to be part of yours. Thank you for putting your trust and confidence in us at Roswell Nissan. It's because of that trust that we continue to provide the best in sales and service. Merry Christmas, and here's to a great 2023 from your friends at Roswell Nissan.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:59. We're about ready to wrap up today's show. If you missed any part, you can check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find it all there to view whenever you got the time to. Don't forget basketball next 3 days. We've got the Pocorn Tournament and the Goddard Rocket Lady Invitational, Holiday Invitational. That's getting underway today. Both of those tournaments, we will have all of the games from both tournaments for you online, ksvptv.com. You'll click on the Pocorn or the Goddard Holiday Tournament tab, and then you can watch all those games. We will have announcers for the local schools who will play later in the evening and the day. We'll just have the video for all the other games that feature the non-local schools. But you can watch every single game there at ksvptv.com starting this afternoon, and then all day tomorrow and Thursday as well, too. So we'll have it all there for you. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. More than 4 people have died in the massive winter storm that stretched from the Great Lakes to the Rio Grande, and rescue efforts continuing. Julie Walker reports.
More than half the deaths were in western New York, some in homes, others in cars stuck in the snow, and Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown says some on the street.
Who were trying to walk out during storm conditions, got disoriented, and passed away out in the street.
As the snow continues falling, officials are warning stay off the roads unless it's an emergency. Erie County Executive Mark Pollenkars.
We have one of the worst storm probably in our lifetime and maybe in the history of the city.
National Weather Service meteorologist Ashton Robinson Cook says temperatures will start to warm by midweek, helping melt the snow.
The bomb cyclone that we had last week has weakened and lifted up